Am I on?
Yes, yes, you are. Yes, you are. All right, all right. I was just a bit slow in putting my headset on. Morning, 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 sir. Morning, morning. So, brilliant. Oh, I like this. I like this. Okay. All right, brilliant, brilliant. So we were talking about 8 o'clock your time. Oh, that's exciting. Okay, I thought
Oh,
it was. No, no, no. It's great. It works out perfectly. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. No, no, it's
are
all
you
good.
sure?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm positive. Uh,
Okay.
let me just goose Beena go. She's not
Okay.
there yet. It's, uh, all right. Yeah, yeah. No, no, no. It's fine. I had you down for, I thought you were talking about your time, not my time. So that's fine.
Oh no. See, yeah, it's just after 8 my time right
Yes,
now.
yes, yes, yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no. That's fine. That's fine. That's exciting. Actually, that's very cool. That's good. That's good. All right. Brilliant. 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 I like this. I love this. How are you, Sher? How are you? How are you?
I'm I'm kind
We're
of under
just,
the weather.
I
Um,
see that. I hear that just a little bit. That's why I ask. I have been slightly also, but I'm making an effort to be preemptive in my sleep. In other words, I'm like, I've seen this over the years before. Like I had it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I was sleeping like during the day, when I wasn't really tired, but I'm sleeping. It's like, why you need to sleep? So I'm not feeling sick or anything. I'm just sleeping extra. And I've
yeah.
noticed that there's like pre-flu symptoms like that. You get sort of unreasonably tired and you think, but I slept well. What do I need to sleep for? And then you don't. And then, of course, you get sick. That forces you to sleep, right? So it's when you feel these pre-symptoms, that's like right now when we're done here, you go sleep.
Yeah, that's what it feels like because I've been fighting off something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Was it day before yesterday? Yesterday, 2 days in a row, I carried a low grade fever, and I don't
yeah,
know. Today it's just kind of chills, but I
yeah,
mean, I'm not like sick to the point where I have to be down all the time, but it's in my head and in my chest, and so I'm thinking, okay, probably got a cold coming on, and need to make sure I stay on top of that. So,
yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah. And
yeah,
in the current climate with everything going on, this is a crucial thing, to take care of.
yeah. We don't, as far as I know, anyway, we don't have anything like this in our area. But with all these people coming into my house, I never know where they've been or what they've had.
Exactly, exactly,
So,
exactly, exactly.
sometimes I get a little concerned about it. But if it gets
Yep,
worse today, I'll probably um, see my doctor and see
yeah,
what she
yeah,
says.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
yeah. Because if you do walk around with a cold, you're just asking for aggravation.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
You're gonna just have stress in your life. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, yeah,
Well, CJ and I have passed this around, it seems like, for the past month because, of course,
yeah.
I'm in school.
Correct. This thing
And
has been around since January,
yeah,
so
um, so
it's only
so I've
coming
really
into
got to
us
just
now. But
yeah, and I just I mean, the house has been closed up, and all I can do is clean it. We can't air it out,
yeah,
so
yeah,
that's kind of a hassle.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm gonna tell on with so now.
Morning, Beena. Morning, Beena. Hello.
Good morning,
Brilliant.
Bina.
Brilliant.
Hello, good morning. Morning, Sher, and welcome.
Good morning.
Yes. A great, huge, big, magical welcome. Yes, yes, yes.
What
All
does
right.
that
So
mean?
we're gonna start. We're gonna start. We're gonna start. Oh, I'm excited, sir. I'm excited. All right. So
So
uh,
am I.
let's get right into it. Module one, session one. Just your repeat back on what did module one and session one of module one specifically now, what does it mean to you? What do you think it's saying? What is it trying to say? What is the intent underlying it? So give us
Hey,
your understanding of what it was all about.
um, let me see. I'm going to kind of go from my notes here, okay? If that's all right.
Yes,
I
that's
don't.
the idea. Yes, yes.
Okay. I wrote down that module one is basically I did the basics first. I just put the
Yes.
module one to me was an overview of what the Way of Impeccability program is and what the process are that are going to be utilized. And then on 2, I put that it's an overview of the tools and how to use them to live in my highest authentic self. But then I wrote a lot more after that, and I mean a whole lot.
Oh, good. We are strapped down. I got my coffee. Beena's got a popcorn. We're all ready to go. I don't know if
Okay.
Beena eat popcorn.
So,
Anyway.
so this is what I wrote.
A lot.
That's right. I thought the popcorn had something special with Beena. So, see, we're ready. We're ready for you. We're ready for you. We're ready. We love this show. You really do. It's fun, you know. And the fact that you have a lot. This is yes. Yeah.
Okay. So I wrote, I am a good person, regardless of what my unconscious or conscious thoughts may tell me. This program is designed to improve my way of being. Tools used within the Way of Impeccability are the Dictionary of Power. Love this. Vocabulary is a power tool, and when we apply the emphasized terms to our daily living, we form the habit of living as we speak. Takeaways and repeatbacks are utilized to enhance and embed the processes I have learned. It's one thing to say I understand, but living it through application is the growth I am seeking. The tools utilized are writing every thought, feeling, question I have while going through this program, then reviewing it for further understanding. I like to think of this as peeling back the layers. A focus is to extract what I have read and heard, then writing it for myself, as this will aid in understanding and application of the principles of Way of Impeccability. The files I will keep allow me to revisit quickly any topic in my notes for further exploration. There will be one for the Dictionary of Power, one for each takeaway and repeatbacks. To me, this program is presented in an immersion process, which works wholly for me. As I use the vocabulary in my Dictionary of Power and practice application, a new way of being will take hold. Part of the process is to remain mindful of my intent as much as I can through each day. So here's the thoughts that I had after I had read, and I went through those modules like 3 times, by the way.
Before you go there, can you just back up to that last sentence that you read for me, please, Sher?
Yes. Part of the process is to remain mindful of my intent as much as I can through each day.
Through each moment of every day.
Okay.
Sorry. I mean, that's what you mean, but just to
Yes.
add that moment. I'm sorry. I'm assuming that's what you mean, but that's what it sounds like to me. But that's what we mean in Way of Impeccability. Later on, we're actually going to add a session. We're busy working on it right now on the moment-to-moment doings of a spirit warrior.
Yes, that is important. Being mindful,
moment-to-moment
all
doings.
the time.
Yes.
And that's quite a practice to develop, by the way. It's something that has really drastically improved for me. I'd have to say in the past months, because I remain conscious of it all the time. So, okay, so here's my thoughts that I had. Who am I? And what is my intent? And those are absolutely legitimate questions for me right now.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So right now, my intent is to live as myself always. To release myself.
Sorry, sir. I don't mean to interrupt you again. But say that like it's you're saying it to the universe, not as part of a list. And no, let me say it with the full intent of how you mean it, and leave some pause for it to sink in, because huge. It gets me emotional. Say that again.
My intent is to live as my higher self always. Always, always, always.
Exactly. My intent is to live as my higher self always.
Always.
Always. You know what I mean? Say it with that emphasis, and then make space for it to really go in. You saying this to yourself as an intent. So there's a different way to say an intent. You know what I mean? We're saying it like that. with an intent, to make it an intent, right? And to lock it in and to really shift it into our bodies. This is a big deal. Not just it's words on the list. No,
Right.
this is really something that we are saying with intent. You're not just sharing it for me to hear the content of
No,
it. It's saying it with
no.
it. So every item on your list, say it in the same way. I don't care how long it takes.
Okay.
Being ready to leave that pause, to get it sink. Okay.
And actually, I have that one underlined and like bolded.
And brilliant. And then I would absolutely highly recommend, sticky notes, print it out, something other, stick them up all over the house.
That's a good idea.
Oh, it's huge, especially on the mirror. Any place you look regularly, these are all moment to moment doings. Yes, these
Yes.
intentions. Right. So stick them up all over the house. Yeah.
To live as my higher self always.
To live
And
as my higher self.
higher self always. Always.
Yeah.
To release myself of the confines of my old way of thinking and open to new perspectives. That's a big one for me too.
Yes. To unhook from your old ways. Yes.
To learn new habits that will be applied to helping others find their way out of trauma.
Are you included in that?
What is that?
Are you included in that?
Yes.
All right. So to help
To
others.
learn new habits.
Yeah.
To learn new habits that I can apply when helping others.
And
to
myself.
learn new habits that I can apply. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, you're going to be helping others and also helping yourself, is what I mean.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
Yes. Okay. I'm changing this as I go. To
Yeah.
help others find their way out of trauma. And this last one is the part that Beena's post this morning reminded me of, but it was already in my notes, which says, I want to live with discernment and impeccability.
Yeah. Wow. Can we just go back 1 second to the previous one?
Yes.
Help or assist?
That's a big question.
Exactly. Yes, it is. It's a matter of personal preference and how we come at things. It's a mindset deal. Personally, I prefer to use the word assist, because when you assist, you kind of next to somebody. When you're helping them, you're sort of almost doing it for them in a way. At least there's an understanding of that. If somebody helps me, I'm walking down the stairs. If they're assisting me, I'm doing it, but they're just there in case. When they're helping me, then it's a joint thing. So in this stuff, especially when it is about coming out of trauma, as you mentioned specifically, to assist is a very big deal, because we need to do it for ourselves, right? If we get too much help, we become codependent.
Exactly. And I don't want to go back there.
No. I mean, and also the people that you are assisting, you don't want them to become codependent on you.
No.
Right. So this assisting deal is very small word, but huge. So maybe make it a capital A, assist, because we are meaning more with this assist. We are going to be assisting with discernment and discrimination and awareness and all of the stuff, right? So we really are meaning assisting as in, sharing stuff, not telling and all of the other stuff that goes with assisting, yes?
Yes, and I just added that to my dictionary power, by the way.
Yes. It's a huge word. It's a huge word, because like I said, help has all sorts of connotations. But to assist somebody, I'll assist you, but hey, that means you're going to do something.
Exactly.
I'm going to assist you if you just want to, no.
Well, to me, an assist is like guiding or showing, and let them
sharing.
Like I want to do with, CJ or others, I'll assist, but I'm not going to do it for you. Okay.
Share options, and in assisting, we are sharing choice. This is what assisting is all about.
I typed in sharing choice in italics so that I've got that
Yes.
there stuck
Yes.
in my head.
So I'm not telling you to do anything.
No, I like that.
I'm
I
sharing
really do.
choices. They're your options. This is my task, is to show you the options that you weren't aware of maybe before. Oh, I never thought of that. Oh, I never thought of that. Oh, in other words, I've been through the maze, right? I'm telling you, okay, this way, or this way. This is a lower probability. This is a higher probability. This is why. Okay, you choose. You choose.
I like that.
I'm not telling you exactly this is the way through the maze. No, you're gonna have a couple of times you're gonna go down the side paths and figure out for yourself it's not. But you need to choose, not me. I can't choose for you. Right? It's
Yes.
the one thing that we cannot do. To me, it's quite criminal. When we make choices for others, we rob them of the opportunity for them to acquire awareness for themselves.
Oh, that is so true.
That's how we acquire our own awareness, and it's real. It's because it's our free choice.
Well, that's what I was, and I don't know how I figured it out, but it's what I was doing to CJ. I just sat and thought about it. That was what was going on with him. He was feeling robbed. Like he was being controlled.
Yes.
No,
it's
so that was a big lesson
story
for
of my
me.
brother helping me with a crossword puzzle. I was doing the crossword puzzle, and he came, he looked down and he said, "Oh, that 7 across is," and whatever. He gave me the word, and he gave me a few more. And I said, "Beena, mute yourself, put your sound off, please." But I literally said to him, I said, "Fuck off." And he's like, "What?" He's like, "Why? I was just helping you." I said, "No, you weren't. You were just, now you take all my fun away." It's like, I wanted to do this. I wanted to figure it out. You robbed me of the opportunity of figuring it out for myself. He didn't help me. He just gave me the answers. Did not help at all. If he'd shared methods of coming to those answers, how to figure out, how to think, how to calculate, how to reason it out, that would have been helpful. Yes, but to give me the answers, no.
That's where, well, that's also then too where being mindful comes in, is mindful of moments like that.
Yes. We can't do it for others. They have to choose for themselves. If we rob them of this opportunity to choose, we rob them of acquiring awareness for themselves. When we freely choose something, that's when we actually truly acquire awareness.
Isn't that more or less like the essence of coaching?
Exactly. The essence of coaching is to provide the opportunities, the tools for free choice. Exactly. Right. Coaching is all about choice mechanisms. If we are really, really good at coaching, a lot of coaches give answers and they don't really help the people. Yes, you can solve a particular problem, but you don't learn how to problem solve. Big difference.
I think I'm getting it.
Yes. We want to be able to solve any problem. We want to understand the abstract mechanisms of problem solving, how to think, how to be, how to feel, how to be aware, how to be discerning, how to be discriminating, how to have insight, how to perspective shift. This is the stuff that we learn. In other words, all of way of impeccability. Every single entry into your dictionary of power is a coaching tool.
That also then just answered one of my questions that I have that I'll get to in a bit. And you'll know which one it is as soon as I read the question. Because I actually had a question after all this was done.
Before we carry on, sorry, that was your last thing that you mentioned, or second last? I thought you had a point after that. Just repeat that again.
The point after that was I want to live with discernment and impeccability. And
that's a huge statement. That's not a casual thing to say.
No, it's not.
You want to do what? Say again, please. You're saying this to the universe.
I want to live with discernment and impeccability.
I want to live with discernment and impeccability.
Yes.
Ooh.
Always. At all times.
That's so huge. That is so huge. It's so simple. But man, that's a huge statement. That desire to live with discernment and impeccability. I mean, this is, to me, man, this is a hunger. This is a desire. This This is a real deep want, never mind an intent. Yes.
It is a very big desire of mine. It- Let me see if I can explain this. Rex was telling me that, that the growth and changes I have made, of course, there's a statement that you are not your past. And I know that I'm not.
Yeah.
But there's a part of me inside that still feels like it's dark, like dirty.
Yeah.
And I feel as though the more I move through this program, the more I understand about what a spirit warrior truly is, and about how to live, mindfully with discernment, the way of impeccability. I feel like that darkness will turn more into light.
Yes.
That it will alleviate. I mean, there's the pain of the past is not there, but it left what feels like a dark stain.
Yes.
And I feel, so Rex was saying, Sherry, you are pure, you are a pure soul. And I'm like, I don't always feel that way. So
Yes.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
Oh, it makes total sense. In other words,
Okay.
everything you're saying in this last point comes down to lotus logic. Yes.
What is that?
Lotus logic. What does a lotus do with muck?
Um,
Lotus grows in the muck, in the mud, in the
yes.
muck. That's where they grow. They don't grow in nice, beautiful, nice, or no, they
It
grow
grows
in
in
the
the
muck.
it grows in the
Right.
muddy waters.
Exactly, right? It's just, and it's not just muddy, it's mucky, right? So in other words, your darkness is what makes you bloom into a lotus.
Oh.
Without it, you can't be a lotus.
Oh.
But use it, in other words. It's
I
part
like
of your
that.
magic. Yes. So
I like that.
living with discernment and impeccability, being your full and magical self, being your divine self, all of your intent. It is not despite the muck of your past. It is because of it.
Because of it. Oh.
Lotus is a lotus because of the muck, not despite the muck. It's how you use the muck. So lotus logic, put that in your dictionary of power. It's a very special, just for you term. I've never used that before, just for you.
I like that.
But we'll add it to our own dictionaries of power too. Yes, I like it. This is
I
a
like it
live,
a lot.
what we
Maybe
are
that
doing
explains
here
why I'm
together.
so attracted to lotus flowers. I don't know.
Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. Interesting. So maybe, build it into your emblem or, your logo or something. Put that
I
in there.
really like that.
You see what I mean? Yeah. So use it. Use it. This is very profound. Lotus logic. And you are such a magnificent exemplification and exemplar of lotus logic.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
beautiful.
You pull it from me. Don't come from me. You pull it from me. Because
Thank
that
you.
intent, when you were saying you're dealing with it, it's just a perspective shift. That's it. And right there, in that one moment of saying, "Ooh, lotus logic," that darkness suddenly became the muck that you grow out of and blossom into your lotus. It now suddenly became the divine source of your magic.
That is absolutely amazing.
It's huge. It's huge. Right
And I
there,
can
we
absolutely,
can
I
say,
can
okay,
see it.
drop the mic. That's it. That's it. Okay. I'm simply
Yeah,
saying,
I can
I
see
want to make
that.
this point very, very, just emphasize this moment. How a simple thing like this, one conception, can change absolutely everything. In this case, it has an effect, a backward cascading effect. Like when you drop one drop of something in a bowl and it changes the liquid, and it has that transformation effect, and you see it kind of ripple through. In the same way, this one drop of consciousness, this one drop of awareness, this one drop of discernment and impeccability in this case too, of this lotus logic. It has a backward cascading effect on changing everything in the past and also everything in the future. One moment, just one thought, one conception, change your whole life.
It did, because I don't see it the way I was seeing it before. Before I was seeing
Everything
it
has
as a
changed.
dark spot.
Everything has changed. Now,
Yeah, I
the
didn't.
thing is, yeah. take those little sticky notes and put lotus logic, or just lotus, lotus, lotus. Get pictures of lotus. Just stick them up everywhere. So whenever you see lotus, you remember this change, and you remember that it's what changes your life in everything, forwards and backwards, and in the moment. It's really transformative. And to understand, this is the discernment, to understand that it doesn't take big things to change our lives. They change in a single moment.
Yeah,
When we
just a
find
little
that
tiny.
nice little tiny drop that is the catalyst that changes everything. That's
That's
all
the
it is.
purpose
Fulcrum point. Yes.
of the vocabulary.
Yes.
That's what you were talking about, that the
Conception.
vocabulary.
It's not a specific word, because to somebody
Right.
else, lotus logic could mean nothing. They don't come from the muck like you do. The muck isn't precious to them. The muck isn't holy, isn't sacred. But to the lotus flower, it is.
I just put that into my dictionary of power too, that the conceptions of words change our perspective entirely.
Yes. So conceptions, put that under the term conceptions. You know what I mean? As the explanation for the term, because it's a dictionary. So you want to have something to connect it to. This is the dictionary of power is comprised of conceptions, not words.
Yes. Yes.
Big difference. Big difference. You see, lotus flower is words to somebody else, but to you, it is this profound, sacred, magical, life-transforming conception. And it's ever evolving. It's not a definition. It's a conception. Yeah.
This changes the whole game for me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It really does.
Oh, yes. But see, like everything that blossoms, you've done the work. You in the space for that catalyst to be ready to make the change. All I'm there is just a facilitator. That's it. I simply am responding appropriately and in attunement to you, because I'm so, I'm listening with every fiber of my being. So I didn't have this thought of this beforehand. No, you just pulled it from
No.
me in the moment, right? So this is
Yes.
very, just this capital H hearing and capital L listening. It's not like, oh, I had some pre-made wisdom or something. Oh, no. You pulled it from me. It's a function of you, not me. Very important to realize that. So that's just a joint thing, and that's well, did I help you, or it's just you? Yes, okay, you can say that, yes, but really it was you that was doing it for you, not me. You put the work in, you put the intent in. All I did was just add that little tweak to let it all fall in together. That's it, really. And you just used me.
Just love that.
Yeah.
This has changed a lot. My mind is kind of like
Yes.
trying to stay
Yes.
stay.
Your intent, you were listing those intents. They are real, serious,
Yes.
profound intents. They're not just a bullshit thing that you're saying, oh, to sound good, or no, they are real.
No.
When we have intents, and look, your intent now has manifested right in this moment. It is manifesting those intents you said before, right?
Yes.
It manifested through pulling this conception of lotus logic out from me. It's a function of your intent that you listed before.
I like this.
Yeah, it's huge.
Oh
So
my.
that last intent that you said, about assisting others with getting out of trauma, and I said to
Yes.
assist others and yourself.
And myself,
And
definitely. And
yourself, right now, that intent's already manifested right now.
yes, it has.
Right
Yes,
now.
it has. It
So
did.
exactly, and it's also the intent to obtain assistance for yourself, right?
Yes. Yes.
Wherever appropriate, which is exactly also what just transpired right now.
You see, a lot of people think that coaches, are already done and that they have it all and know it all. And it's like, no, that's not true.
They grow.
A good
They
coach
grow
is forever
with
learning.
you.
They're
Right.
always learning.
Exactly, they grow with you. It is a collaboration. Coaching
Yes.
is the profound, magical collaboration of perspective shifting.
Hold on. I want to write a note on that. Okay. Got it down.
Love it. I love it. That's why I just want to repeat that, because it's for me an understanding of coaching that I haven't particularly articulated in this particular way, and I really do like it. Coaching is a profound collaboration of perspective shifting.
I absolutely love that.
Yes, yes. I mean, if
That is
you
definitely,
really coach, I don't care what the thing is. If
see, and
you
that erases my confusion about what coaching, is.
yes,
So,
yes, 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 yeah. So if you're a capital C coach, you like the ultimate coach. You could coach somebody in anything, because all you need to do is help them perspective shift on whatever it is they're doing. I don't have to know what the thing is in itself. When we understand perspective shifting and how to look at things from different angles, that's really all I do. I mean, I really do have a talent, not just because I've had it naturally, or a skill, I should say. I've really worked hard at developing my skills of perspective shifting to acquire this as a skill to a level where I can say I'm an expert at perspective shifting. I can find a different perspective on
yes,
anything. I really can.
yes,
And
I'd have to
once you
agree.
get into the habit, that's all that's needed. Because what happens when we suddenly look at things from different perspectives? What was the earlier point we made about choice and awareness? As soon as we have multiple perspectives, now automatically, just by default, we suddenly have choices. And now
Yes,
suddenly we get into the realm of capital A awareness. Capital A awareness is all about free, deliberate choice. When we freely and deliberately choose, right, that's when we are actually acquiring awareness, creating awareness. And when we do that, we are in attunement with the universe, because that's what it's all about.
being in tune with the universe, that I would agree.
Right? Because that's what the universe is all about. Every single thing in your life, all of that muck is to force you to rise out of it and become a lotus. To say, no, sorry, I don't want to be in the muck. But
I don't
you're
want to
getting the
be
free choice.
ever.
You always have a free choice to stay in it or not. But when you freely chose to be a lotus, oh, this is when the awareness started to come. This is when all of the magic of the lotus that is Sher started to blossom. When you freely and deliberately started to choose in full consciousness to say, oh, I'm going to transform this month. I'm going to blossom out of it. I'm going to use it. Use it.
That's why being hard and edgy doesn't work with me.
Nope. Nope.
I'm not a hard and edgy kind of person.
Lotus.
There's
Right. Right. And being
okay.
hard and edgy with CJ is a complete, utter just reminder to yourself how it doesn't work.
Yeah, it just doesn't work with me. He's
Backfires.
a spoken kid.
But it doesn't work with him either. When you're hard and edgy with him, like, when you get a little bit irritated with him on that, it
Yeah.
is exceedingly detrimental. It just, whatever you've built before just gets kind of cancelled out again, and you start going backwards.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't care how much it's difficult for you and how much you might be annoyed or irritated in the moment. Just that's the time for you to implement that power pause and say, oh, wait. What is the
Yes.
appropriate way to do this? Yeah, yeah. Here's something for you to just, okay, we're jumping off where we at. So we're on a center column of your repeat backs and your takeaways, and we're just doing a little sideways onto CJ here.
Okay, I've got some more here.
Oh, hello, Sherry. Sherry, see, now we've got Sherry and Sherry. So just to be sure.
Okay.
Oh.
E and A. Right,
All
sure.
right.
And,
You want me to keep going?
yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay.
Sherry likes to listen. I just wanted to say
Okay.
real quick on
So,
CJ. Find somebody that, like, when you in that mode of with CJ and things are, you get a little bit of whatever. I don't want to even name it, right? Think
right.
of that you're going to be speaking to CJ as if you were speaking to me or Beena or Sherry or anybody. I don't care who you substitute in there, but just in that moment, imagine that you are speaking to somebody that that you have a particular way of speaking. Like our relationship, it's always we're talking about the positive and the profound and the sublime, and there's a particular mood to our relationship. Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you just say, oh. How would I say this to Sil? And then say it to CJ as you would say it to me.
Okay. Now that I can do.
Right.
That I can do.
That would be
Yeah.
very transformative. And
Well,
really,
we've had a couple of good days since I had my mini aha moment where I was able to see that I was doing the same thing, you know, the overprotecting of him. And he was just resisting it is all.
right.
So,
So when you guys came to visit, for me, there was no difference between how I was relating and treating CJ as I would you.
right.
Just
I
because he
saw
was a
that.
kid made no difference to me. I treated him in the same way as I treat you. Yes, we spoke about kid stuff, but sometimes you and I can speak about kid stuff. It's
Yes.
man. So the content is not the same as the emotional connectivity, the underlying mindset and attitude towards him. This is what made the difference for him. I treated him with the respect that I give you as an adult. The
Yes.
fact that he was a kid didn't matter to me in my level of respect. Yes, I adapted in terms of appropriateness, but not in my level of respect to him. This is why he was so excited and why he remembers and why the connection with me, because he got treated in a way that he doesn't typically get treated by the world. It's very unusual. So it's not, that was what made the difference. Very simple thing. Very simple thing.
Perspective shift.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
We don't treat kids as kids, but treat them as beings, as sentient beings like everybody else. Yes, the content of what we share, we might have to adapt, but we're always pushing beyond their boundaries. You know, we're always sharing more. Okay, and we come back to where they can fit in, but always we're sharing more, always more, and they grow into that. So this is a big difference. Very big.
I like that.
Yeah, it's huge.
Okay. That I can remember.
It's huge. Now, what's the difference you're going to do with
Okay.
your coaching? Aren't you
What's
gonna
that?
do, aren't you gonna do in your coaching? And for me, isn't this what for me I see Sher's moreness.
Well, now I do. I didn't see it before we came upon
The lotus flower.
the concept of the lotus logic.
Ah,
I was struggling with that. So
lotus logic. So see the lotus of CJ.
yes.
See the lotus of everyone, and and connect to them as if they were lotus already. To me, you always were lotus. Always from day go that I saw you. That's a skill that I've practiced really to see the moreness of people. And that's what I relate to. I'm not relating to the muck of your past. Does it make any difference to me? No. Your muck always was lotus, lotus, lotus. Right?
That one's going to take a moment to soak in, but it will. I'm just
It's a
amazed.
huge
That's
thing
all.
because of the queuing and because of the relationship that you build. You know, I mean, do I have a relationship with you that is in any way connected to past Cherry and muck?
No,
No, it's always lotus. Even though I am fully aware of all of the muck, I still only see lotus.
that's just amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
Something
like
we
I
can
said,
do to ourselves, and you know, also we got to see the moreness. We got to relate into the moreness. It's a climate. It's a whole magical queuing climate that we create, and an awareness and a relationship that we are operating only on this level, on this boundary. And so, man, when like for instance in our relationship, right?
yes,
Because I'm seeing you as lotus, can you go and be mucky and now old, let's say old mindsets, old attitudes, the way you used to be? You cannot be
no,
in our relationship. It just would be. Think of CJ in the same way. When you treat him as if he was lotus, as if he was sober and sincere and diligent and respectful and honest and joyful and happy and all of the things, people like to be given that point and they try and live up to it. Yes, maybe it's going to slip a
yes,
little here and there, but we'll just pretend we don't see it sometimes. Yeah,
right.
huge deal. So this is queuing. This is queuing taken to the supreme ethical level that we can only do as spirit warriors. The only way we can really treat people is to relate to their mourners. That's it. That's our ethical responsibility.
Yes.
It's huge. It's huge. Huge. Just to say hello real quick to Sherry. Hello, Sherry. Hello. I'm really pleased you're here. Sher is starting her repeat backs and takeaways of Module 1, Session 1. And it's really profound. We are really in a magical thing. So as we go along in a little bit, I'm going to ask you to do a recap. Just whenever new people come in like this, we do a little recap. It's really useful, but in a moment, because we're still part of where we're going. So on that last point, you were saying you were sharing a list of your intents, right?
Yes, yes. Okay.
And the last one was the intent.
My last one was I want to live with discernment and impeccability.
Yes, I want to and intend to live with discernment and impeccability.
Okay.
Yeah, I want a Ferrari, but I don't intend a Ferrari because it's high maintenance.
That's true. Okay, that's true. That's true. I remember that now. Okay. Okay.
Next.
Changes I'd like to make in me personally. And
This is your heading now. This is your topic. Your heading.
Yeah.
Changes I would like to make in me personally.
Me personally are to open my mind and use the intelligence I know I possess to increase my standards of living.
Wow.
Also, to be able to trust and love more fully.
To trust and love more fully. Sorry, I'm just going to repeat them after you because you go too fast. I need time for them. I need time. These are huge statements. They're just a list that you rattle off. It's not a shopping list, you know.
No, these are important to me.
Oh, these are profound. So they need to be shared with the full respect of the profoundness that they are. Yes, please.
So,
yes, and I'm writing. And I'm writing down.
Oh, good. So make space for Beena to write and absorb.
Okay. So changes I would like personally to make in me are to open my mind and use the intelligence I know I possess. And that one is big for me because there are times when I feel like I have the answers. I know I have the answers inside of me. I don't need to lean on others to tell me what the answers are. Because I've found it within myself, if I sit long enough with something and peel all the layers back, go basically through the 7 whats, or, you know, dig down at least 7 layers, then I can find what it is I'm looking for and what the root of the issue is. But sometimes I get frustrated and it just stops and it blocks up. So then I have to step away.
The frustration is the block.
Yes.
Because frustration gets in the way of patience.
Yes.
And when we apply patience, we make space for the answers to emerge from us.
Yeah, and that's usually then when when I step away. That's my practicing patience, is just stepping away from the problem or the issue, pausing, basically.
Yes. So when you take a power pause, whenever you're frustrated, you take a power pause.
Yes.
You are applying both patience and capital T trust. Brilliant, Jerry. I'm glad you're back. So when you take a power pause, when you're frustrated, right? And you're stressed and frustrated, say, oh, power pause. What am I going to do? I'm going to be patient. And through my patience, I'm also applying capital T trust, that I'm going to allow the answers to come up in me. I'm going to make space for me to get into the right mindset to get to them. I'm going to make space for them to come from outside of me as inspiration, right? I'm going to make space that I can make leaps of logic and understanding and figure stuff out. So when I make this power pause and I apply both capital P patience and capital T trust, I am making space for my intelligence to work in all of its magicalness.
Yes.
And I'm being impeccable. Why? Because it's maximum energy application. I'm putting my energy to good use. I'm not allowing the energy I need to put to apply to my intelligence, to my intuition, to my problem solving. I'm not draining it through frustration. If your energy is being used for frustration, it can't be used for maximizing your intelligence and your sensibility and figuring stuff out. Right?
No, it can't. It keeps me stuck.
Exactly.
You know, I'm a lot more patient than I was. I'm a whole lot more patient than I was. So it is definitely improving.
So that's when you get frustrated to say, oh, energy being wasted. What am I going to do? I'm going to take the frustration energy and flip it around into pause energy, which is now, it's a positive energy that's making space for me to Let things come, let me see, let me be aware. In other words, frustration puts a blinkers on us, and it actually puts blinders on us that we
Yes,
can't
it
see.
does.
So when
Yes.
we remove that, okay.
Yeah. So energy management.
Which is impeccability. So whenever
Yes.
you get to that frustration, say, oh, energy management, I don't want to be wasting my energy on frustration or irritation or annoyance or botherance or any other nonsense. Nope, it's a waste of my energy. My energy is precious. We need to become misers with our energy. We need to see our energy as the most precious thing there is, because it is the most precious thing there is.
It's what fuels us.
Exactly. And we have limited amounts of energy. We can't go around squandering it on all sorts of rubbish. Nope.
We can't.
Nope. It is our absolute divine responsibility to use our energy exquisitely. This is impeccability.
I love that statement. Can you repeat that, please?
It is our divine responsibility to use our energy exquisitely. This is our impeccability.
That one is like gonna get. I'm gonna have sticky notes all over my house.
I absolutely recommend it. I have a friend, Tommy.
My house is gonna be
Tommy lives a magical life. Really. Here's a story of Tommy. This is a real and true story, right? Tommy is he works at a golf cart, a golf course, and when the golf carts come back, he cleans clubs and that. So that's all he does, really, right? He just takes care of the golf carts. He gives it to you when you go out, and you come back, cleans up your clubs, takes back the golf cart. That's all he does, right? But he owns a house, he owns a yacht, and he lives. He has a fantastic magical life because Tommy started with an intent to be more in simplicity, right? So he has a very, very simple and humble job, but he has everything that everybody ever wanted. And when I first met Tommy, he's literally his entire apartment. There was not one single spot on it that didn't have a note on it of something that was of importance to him. It's really magic.
That's amazing.
It's the most beautiful, fantastic thing that I ever saw. This entire house with notes of what he wanted, notes of intent, in other words. Something special, very special.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes.
That is beautiful.
And Tommy's a simple fellow who's transformed his life into magic. He always knew he was a simple fellow, but he knew he was more. And those notes were Tommy saying, I am more, I am more. I insisted I am more. I am lotus. That was it. He had a whole house of lotus reminder. Every single note became a petal in his lotus blossom.
Oh,
Ooh.
I like that. Ooh. I like that visual.
Yes. And your notes can be a collaborative process too. Yes.
And now I have to take off one of my points because it no longer applies to me.
Wow. Yes. Upgrade already. I love this. Yes. Change can happen.
Because my next one was, you're going to laugh at this one. My next one says, I don't know who I am fully. And I just put a cross out through that because I feel like that's no longer true.
I am lotus.
Yes, I am lotus.
Oh, please write it down.
I did.
Oh.
I did. It's in my
Have you
notes.
got something you can write on a note?
I'm typing as I've got my notes here on the screen.
Right. Can you have something that you can write it on as a handwritten note that you can go stick it on the wall right now?
Do I? I don't know if I've got stickies. I know I have a pen. Here we go. Got my notebook. I always have paper around here.
This is something you want to write by hand. Some things we want to do both, type and write by hand.
I
am capital L Lotus.
Okay. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that?
Yes. Look at this. Look at this, the artistry and the style that was written in Beena. I see. Just look at that.
Wow.
It's just the artistry there.
Beautiful.
This is you see Sherry. You see Sher writing her heart. Yes.
Yes.
Just take that
Beautiful.
and put it up somewhere where it stands open that you can see it. You know what I mean?
Yes. Like on
Because
my mirror.
wow, yeah, right there next to your computer or whatever. I don't know, anywhere that you can see it. There you go.
That yeah, it just kind of struck me when I saw my next one. I don't know who I am fully, and I'm like, oh, Pshaw, you do too.
Oh, let me hear that. Oh, what?
Pshaw.
I love that. I love that. Oh, love that. Oh, fudge. Oh, I love. Oh, pshaw. Oh, I love that.
Oh,
Brilliant. Oh, pshaw. We have a new,
Pshaw.
we have a new term for our dictionary of power. Oh, pshaw. Or just pshaw. I love that. I love
Pshaw.
that. Yeah, like pshaw.
It's one of
Magic.
my favorite words.
Yes, yes. That's fantastic.
Um,
That's fantastic. So yeah, literally add pshaw into your dictionary of power.
Pshaw.
It's magical for you. It means a lot to you. And it has a moreness to you. It is a check on Sher, right?
Yes.
When you say that. It is a check and it's a cancellation, an abrogation of nonsense. And so right there, it's a magical term that suddenly it's a perspective shifting magical term that just gets rid of all sorts of things. So Pashar is part of Sher's dictionary of power because it has meaning to you. It's your favorite word. And same thing, duh has this magicalness. Well, it has a magicalness for everybody, but it was in Beena dictionary of power. This is where it started. Our usage of it more deliberately. Beena was putting it into her dictionary of power at the time. So these terms are really potent. They really are magical because we associate more with them. So right there, when you say that you're practicing association management, right? When you put it
Yes.
in, now suddenly, oh, this is a power term. That's why it's in the dictionary of power. It's not just an ordinary thing. It's not just a fun thing. It's not the idiosyncrasy of Sher. Now suddenly it takes up, oh, wow, it's my magic. It's my magic wand that I wave. Sharp. Like that. Isn't that something?
That's what a lotus sounds like. Pshaw.
Exactly. So all of these entries into our dictionary of power, they become perspective shifting mechanisms. And perspective shifting is the magic wand we always wanted.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes,
I've been experiencing that all week, by the way. Yeah, a lot of
it
perspective.
is perspective shifting. If you want to put that into a dictionary of power and then put the little
It is.
the description of it, the understanding of it, the magic wand.
I like that. I really do. Now I'm thinking of Harry Potter.
Exactly. We are going to be Harry Potters of impeccability.
Oh, I like that.
Isn't that magical?
I like that.
I love that you brought that in.
That too.
Yeah, it's a Harry Potter of
Exciting.
impeccability. Say again, Beena?
Exciting. Really.
Yes.
Now it's getting really exciting.
Yes. We are wizards of wonder.
Ooh.
Ooh. Yes.
So then it goes on to say, I am a good person. I, Sherry, passed over the trauma, and in process of healing the dark space, I have been healing my shadow. And my intent, and that this is the part that no, it didn't when we came upon the whole part of the Lotus logic, that started to get canceled out too. I am a good person.
Yes.
And
I didn't pass over
I'm growing out of the
I
trauma.
transformed the trauma.
Yes.
Just take that same statement and say, instead of passed over, cross it out and put transformed.
See, that's it right
And
there.
don't delete it.
No, I'm not.
Highlight it and under strike through. I don't know if you know. I think control.
Yep.
And then say transform, so you can see the contrast there.
There, I transformed.
Right. And you have next to it. You have you have that strike through. Right? It's nice. You can see that I transformed. Right, and right there you have a actual visual example of the transformation. Right, that shift from passed over or whatever to transform, that is an actual proof of it, right? It's like self-confirming. It's like a little magical loop that we're having here, right?
But it's like the one up above it when I put I don't know who I am fully. Next to it, I put Opa Shaw.
All right. I am Lotus. Opa Shah. I am Lotus. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. 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 That's
Yeah.
huge. So, and lotus is what transforms. This is what makes the lotus into the magic of the lotus. The lotus isn't just a pretty flower. It is
No.
special. It is sacred because it is a transforming mechanism. This is why it is so revered. It is revered because it is representative of the underlying magic of life that we need to learn to transform the muck into lotus. You are lotus because of the muck, not in spite.
See, that's the type of coaching or assisting that I'd like to do with people
Yeah,
is helping them transform.
exactly. Exactly.
Not just assist, but just
Assisting
helping them.
them. Yes.
Not helping, assisting them in their transformation.
Yes, exactly. And
Those
all
are
you
the
gotta
words
do
right
for
there.
that, all you gotta do for that is practice capital L listening and capital H hearing.
And that was next on my list.
Wow. Wow. We're in tune. We're in tune. Love this. You see
That
now
was
how that
next on
works,
my list.
Sherry? I am absolutely applying capital L listening and capital H hearing with every fiber of my being. So do you see how when I said there's the next thing on your list, this happens all the time because I'm in attunement. It's like, well, duh, it's going to be on your list. Like the obvious. That's it. My skill, my task, what I do here, right? And Beena now, what we do is making the obvious obvious.
Yes.
This is
So here's
how
the whole
we.
sentence all put together. I
Exactly.
put crossed out, I don't know who I am fully. And then in bold, I've got Opa Shaw with exclamation points. I am Lotus.
Yeah, I love that. Ooh, I love
I
that.
want to do, let me see, I want to assist others in their healing. I can do this through seeing and hearing them. The Lotus is transformative. And that's what I wrote.
Yes, yes. And it's capital SC and capital H hearing.
Yes.
Yes, they're not ordinary seeing. And you can even, select them and italicize them, right?
Yes.
Seeing and hearing.
I'm working in a Word document so that I've
Perfect.
got all those. Yeah, I can
Perfect.
do all that.
Yeah. So because seeing and hearing, they are emphasized terms. They are in your dictionary of power. To see somebody is to see their lotus. To hear somebody is to hear their lotus.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So then that takes me to this part here.
One more thing with hearing and seeing. It is also to listen to what they mean, even beyond what they themselves are at that moment connected to.
I got that down.
This is the assistance. Because sometimes we caught a bit in frustration and the struggle of expression. But if we listen, we see where it's going and we see, but what you're meaning is your lotusness. And that's all we're doing. We're just assisting them to connect to their lotusness. This is just all we need to do. So all we need to do is just look at people and say, where's their lotus? Who's their lotus? Where are they at? Not my opinion, where are they at? What's magical to them? What's important to them? What's meaningful to them? When you figure that out, then you just don't have to think anything. You're not bringing any perspective. I'm simply now sharing what is you back to you. That's it. No opinion. No opinion. No belief required. I'm sharing you back to you. I'm seeing your mourners according to you, not according to me, according to you.
See, that's always the important part is the mourners according to the person.
And mourners according to them. Yes.
Yes.
So we share. Coaching is sharing the mourners according to them, to the other, to the participant, to the other person. Yeah. Yeah. Coaching is sharing the mourners according to them. The them italicized and emphasized. Thank you, Beena.
I got that down.
Really fantastic. Really fantastic. Really fantastic. Ah.
So there's There's, let me see, two parts here. This one I felt really resonated with me. This statement. I feel good reading and listening to these modules. And this isn't just a good, this is a, I'm able to immerse myself and actually
No.
feel so empowered and so good when I'm reading them and listening to them. And it makes me feel, I feel important when I'm processing everything that I am hearing and reading, as though I matter. So that's very profound to me. Every time I hear this stuff,
Yes.
I
Hold that to
absorb
me
it and
for 1 second.
I can feel that I'm such a good person for doing this for myself.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you
Yes,
are.
you are.
Yes. The most profound gift you can give to yourself is to actually do the way of impeccability. It's not only a profound and sacred gift, but it is one of the most joyful gifts you can give yourself.
Yes.
Yes. It's a big deal. I want to screen share just real quick, just by way of confirmation. Just the magic of the universe. This came in just this morning. I said to Sue, who's new to the program, where's my screen share now? I just said, oh, Zoom is up, and I wasn't sure if she's had set the thing to start on Monday, so I just said in case you want to start today, and so this is what she sent me. Dang nabbit, come back here. Right, so I want to get it to that spot where she is. There we go. Our client's still newish, but perhaps I'll jump in. This program is so exciting! Exclamation mark! And when you see Sher, Sue, she's not somebody who uses exclamation marks with abandon and gratuitously. The format is incredible, and I can already see how its effectiveness will play out. Nice work, so 3 exclamation marks from Sue. So just what
I'm
you were
clapping for
saying.
you.
And just what you were saying, this makes me very excited. What you were saying, that doing it is exciting, doing it is joyful. And when we associate
Yes.
learning and growth with joy, that's when it all changes. When we associate learning and growth with joy and see they are one and the same, now we're in attunement with the whole universe.
Oh, yes.
Now suddenly we are in attunement with the entire universe. It's like, yes, sure, the universe is saying from up there, that's what I've been trying to tell you all your life. Learning and growth is fun
Exactly.
and joyful. Oh, finally. Thank you, sir, thank you. The muck is magic. There's been a magic.
Sure. It's really wonderful doing this modules with you. I do set my intent whenever I came to Zoom sessions and someone else is sharing something. I do write my intents on my paper. And when I came here, I actually wrote down just after your name affirmations, and I wrote down write 2 questions mark after that, because I was so keen about to know what you feel about the first screen, the affirmations, like saying that, okay, I'm good, I'm deliberately a good person, and typically a good person. And I was so keen to know what you feel about those affirmations. It is just right down here before you started sharing that, because I knew that this is something really, really, really important for you. And it is magical that you got it, and we are so in tune, and we are sharing a lot of magic more than just words here.
Um,
Were they affirmations or confirmations?
Both.
one of
Yes.
my I'll have to take a breath here. I don't know if you're familiar with the love languages. The most important one to me is affirmations. And I have growing up, when I was trying to grow up, and all through my adult years, up until recently, I never knew how important affirmations were to me, because I was always told that I was not a good person. I was always
You
told
are.
that I was
You
selfish
are.
and all the ugly negative things. And
You
so
are a good.
during the one session when when I felt like I could actually start to like myself, and I first said that I'm a good person, I've told myself that every day, that I am a good person. I'm not
Yes, you are.
that person that everybody had told me that I was. So it's um, being good. Um, I try to strive to um, I try to strive to be like others, not comparing, but to emulate the qualities that I see in them that I admire, and to try and achieve those qualities in myself. Because then I feel like when I do that, then I am being a good person. Flip that over a little bit. I'm good just because I'm here and I'm trying and I'm showing up.
Yes. I am
Yes.
good. Oh, write that down as a really magical quote, please. I am good because I am here, because I am showing up, and because I am trying.
I do have two more points which I want to discuss, but of course not today because I want to hold that for our next session. Uh, but I'm just mentioning that you know, to just make you aware that I do have some points I want to discuss, so you will understand that what's the importance of that. And Shiv, uh, I don't know if it counts. I'm here, and right now, in this moment, I feel so impressed, so truly love you right now.
Ah, yes, 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 yes,
Thank you,
And
Beena.
you're so magical and so beautiful.
yes, yes. And I want to make 2 points for me on what you said. Oh, yes, love you, sir. We do. We love you dearly. Oh, most magical. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, thank you. I love you guys too.
Yes.
My last one is that
Oh, before you go to that, I wanted to just make 2 points on what you just said. Everything there. When you say those affirmations, whoa, wait a second. Are they actually affirmations or confirmations?
they're confirmations,
The confirmations of Lotus.
confirmations of Lotus.
That's what they are. When you see these points in other people that you admire, that you want to take onto yourself, it is not because you admire them in them, it's because you recognize your Lotus through them. They
So
are
the same
points
thing
of
applies to
recognition.
when we see something negative in somebody else, and it applies to us actually. So the same thing
Recognition.
applies to the opposite.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. Why do we only do recognition of the negative? Why not the positive?
Ex-
Yep. That's all the smacks for ourselves. Some thinking like a leg. Yes, come on. Wake up. Recognize them, your lotus in everything around you. What you admire is what is you.
I'm writing that one down, and I put me. What I admire is what is me.
Yes, what is me and what is my lotus.
So when I tell somebody else that I find them beautiful, or that I find them as extremely intelligent, or whatever,
Right. There you
those are
go.
things I see in
There you
me.
go. Exactly.
I'm not comparing.
Exactly. Nope. Nope. You are appreciating yourself through others.
I like that.
Very simple. Very simple, really.
There's that perspective shifting.
And the day we realize
That's
that
a
everyone
perfect
else
perspective
is
shift.
us, they are us. Everyone else is us. That's when we start to live in communion with the real magic of everything.
That is magic.
Of course,
That's
how can I not love you because I'm just loving myself? It's like duh. It might seem very selfish, but it's like duh.
it's
You know,
actually kind of cool.
it's very cool. It is incredibly cool to realize we all are each other. man, this is really profoundly cool. You know, incredibly cool.
Well, so I wrote, I love writing. I absolutely love writing now more than ever.
Yes, yes,
Writing is a way for me to explore
yes, yes,
everything that I am, my thoughts as they apply to the world around me,
yes,
and not just in my immediate
yes,
little space here.
yes,
Everything.
yes. So what I would recommend, Sherry, on this point of writing, I very rarely want to say to somebody, you are a something, because they can be limited, but you really are a writer. And it's not to all of you, but writing is something, yes, that you have in you. It's just, I just find this incredible, your writing. It's really magical. So I would recommend you take your story, the first original story, and snip it, right? The
Yep.
muck story. It is a
Yeah, it is the
story
muck
of
story.
the emergence of Lotus, but snip it off at the point of emergence. Then start a new story, which is the Wave Impeccability journey now, of the blossoming of Lotus, right?
In that,
Because you were starting the blossoming of Lotus, right? But the emergent, that was the first story. It's the story of the muck and how Lotus emerged from that, right?
yes,
Okay, but cut it off there, and then go to Amazon, make this a little project. Finalize your editing, go through it, tweak it, get it all right, and then just actually publish it on Amazon. Even if that's it, just put it out there. Even if it's just as an ebook, don't have a cover for it, but okay, if you want to make that extra, get cover design because you need it in a special format for the printing, the spine and the back cover and all that. Make an effort to put this out as a book. And later you can come back and get it published by. But in the meantime, it is out there as a finalized product. You can always go back and tweak it and revise it. Doesn't matter. But now this is a book, and that book is a chapter in the book series, and the series of series that Sher is going to write, because you are very prolific, and then utilize it, but be but more formal and constructive with it, so that you are putting out these books. Okay, the book of the emergence, the book of the blossoming, and then all of the and take all of your posts and say, okay, and have your posts where the titles, and put tags to them in terms so that you can search them and say, okay, I've got a whole bunch of posts, and they're all about a specific point of something, and okay, then you put them together and you put a little mini book on, all your posts put together, you put them in and say, okay, this is a book about specifically dealing with sexual trauma, for argument's sake. See?
I like that.
So be very organized with your writing, be very thorough, tag it, put these, all of that so you can search it and put them together. Be very thorough and organized with your writing, and put it out. Put out your writing as formal publications,
I like that. I really do. I'd been wondering what to do with it, but this is that's the other part of my intent, is being able to share my story.
Right.
And lately I've been just feeling kind of restricted, but
and also, yeah, it's a self-leverage mechanism. Sher as the coach can be built on Sher as author. The two get together. See? So now when you come into your coaching, you say, look, here we go. You read my story. You see where I'm about. You see what I'm doing, and your writing is really powerful. It's very effective writing for yourself first. This is what makes it valuable, because you are sharing to yourself. You're sharing to the universe. You're writing your story. You're not writing it for somebody to teach them and tell them. You're sharing. Your writing is sharing. This is what makes you a good writer, because you are sharing your truth. You're not trying to be clever. You're not trying to make up stuff and say, look, yeah, you got to listen to this. No, you are sharing your truth. This is what
exactly, as it's coming from my heart in that moment.
Exactly. And that exact same process. Think of your coaching as writing in person.
Oh,
Oh, yes. That's all you got to do. And now you've got all of this writing. All you got to do is share the appropriate story in the moment. Like, well, duh. Just
I
be.
like that. I wrote that down. See, my coaching is writing in person.
Yes. Beena. You have something, Beena?
Oh yes. Okay. It is my suggestion because I feel that it is good for me. That it might be helpful for you, Sir, also, and for Sher also. That every single time when we do our Zoom session in future, first we go through those confirmations and say it
Oh,
out loud, and then proceed.
wow. Wow.
I
Wow.
like that.
You're talking about those on the very first slide of module one, session one?
Yes.
Ah,
Yes.
all right. All right. I like that. Wow.
Because
Wow. Wow.
later on, every
Oh,
concept
I
makes
get that,
sense.
that feeling in your heart when it like,
Yeah.
uh, yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
So every single time when we will discover new concept, we will explore new concepts and ideas of way of impeccability. It will make more sense because when we have these ideas fresh in our mind, in our awareness, that yes, we are good for people. We are
yeah.
good.
Yes,
We are impeccable.
we are coming from that perspective as a nice
Yes.
confirmation, not affirmation, not stimulation,
Yes.
confirmation.
Yes.
Confirmation.
I changed it.
Very
I said
different. It's
confirmation.
very different. Very
I
different.
like that.
And the
You know,
intent
that
behind
just,
that slide was confirmation. Sorry, sir. Say again.
like I say, just changing the word from affirmation to confirmation has really
Uh,
Yes.
yes.
changed. I don't feel
Everything.
resistant to affirmations. I
Yes.
feel, I
Yes.
feel accepting
Yes.
now that I am confirming a fact.
Yes. You've never heard
Yes.
me use the word affirmation.
No, you
Oh
haven't.
yes. Yes.
Never. Because I don't care
Yes.
for them. Because of exactly what you just said right now, sir.
We resist them. We don't believe in them.
Exactly. Exactly. Because your inner self says, you're trying to bullshit me. And the
There it
bureaucrat,
is.
oh, no, you're just trying to snow me. You're just trying to put a snow job on me. And you're trying to work me over. No, 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 not going to work. But when we say, no, wait a second, this is a confirmation. I'm saying what's actually true about myself. Oh, shit, wow, whoa, sorry, hang on, stop the lorry here. Oh, this is a very big difference. I'm talking about the truth of the moreness of me. I am confirming that I am freaking more. I just wasn't aware of it before. I wasn't claiming it before. I was so afraid of being egotistical that I didn't claim my moreness.
I'm claiming it now.
Yes, yes, yes. It's not an act of ego to claim your
No,
moreness. It is an act of
no.
honesty. I want to repeat that. It is not an act of ego. It is an act of honesty to claim your moreness.
Yes.
It is.
I want to
Got it.
repeat that again. It is not an act of ego to claim your moreness. It is an act of honesty. I cannot emphasize how important this is. This is if in your dictionary of power where you've added confirmation as a term, as in your dictionary of power, confirmations or confirmation. Confirmations plural into to take the place of affirmations, and affirmations is not in the dictionary of power.
No, it's not.
Confirmations is this. It is the reassociation between moreness and honesty rather than moreness and ego. Not
It
an
is.
act of ego.
It's the reassociation between honesty.
And moreness and our moreness. Claiming your moreness is an act of honesty, not ego.
Exactly.
Acknowledging your moreness is likewise an act of honesty, not ego. Those confirmations are acknowledging your moreness in full honesty.
Okay, I think I have those.
In other words, when
Uh,
I say I am good, am I being egotistical? No, I'm just being honest. Very simple.
so true.
I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. That's it. That's it. That's it. Very simple. Just being honest. every single confirmation of my moreness is me just simply being honest. In other words, I'm being real. The way they talk about being real in the street. Yeah,
Yes.
that's it. I'm being real about myself. Okay, I am good. I'm being real. Just being real. That's it. Very simple. Those confirmations are you being real about you. Very simple. I love impeccability. I love sobriety. I love earnestness. I love goodness. I love discernment. I love discrimination. I love integrity. I love ethics. I'm not being egotistical. I'm just being real. That's who I am.
Oh, where did it go?
Right here.
No, I thought I had a, I know, I thought oh, there it is. I wanted to read this to you. This was, what I read to you was my repeat back. Do you want to hear my takeaway?
Do I want to hear? Duh!
Yeah, okay. I'm going to read you my takeaway.
I really, really, really do want to hear. So does Beena. I muted Beena because she put a charger in and that charger makes her thing buzz. That's the buzzing we were hearing.
Okay. All right, so here I go. This is my takeaway for Wave Impeccability, modules 1 and 2. Revisiting my intent for taking this life-changing course shows me my intent has not changed. Initially, I sought the program to learn about transformational coaching. While this is still one of my intents, it is not the only one. As I listened and reflected on the thoughts that came to my mind, one thought stayed with me throughout. What is my purpose in life? This thought occurred to me in Module 1 when the foundation of Wave Impeccability was talked about. That foundation is to learn what being a spirit warrior means to me, and how to apply the processes learned to living with impeccability. This all involves trusting the process with capital T, trust. But several tools are used in learning the way of impeccability. For me, each provides valuable things. Trust, improved vocabulary that is used in a slightly different meaning, formation of habits, such as daily disciplines, and I underscored that because discipline is big to me now, that foster goodness. Discipline fosters goodness, and thought processing through my writing. The tools are valuable already in helping me unlock my intelligence, which has been weighted down by trauma in the past. I was living in a trauma mindset. Discipline, motivation, less than desirable habits, and mindlessness all were a part of my past. Currently, I am in a void of transition between my trauma mindset, the past, and who I will become in the future. I am now in the perfect position to utilize this course to learn more about who I am as a spirit warrior and my true calling.
Yes.
One part is confusing to me, though. Now, this part is the part that I said changed. That we are encouraged to look at everything from as many different perspectives as possible. But are we not encouraged to take a stance or position in whatever topic is being discussed? However, it does tend to leave me feeling as though I'm floundering or waffling, sitting on a fence. I have always lived my life in absolutes, everything in black and white. The gray area was so confusing. It is easy to understand the concept of looking at everything from all perspectives. This takes away the need for any judgment or reaction instead of responding. And then at the end, I put a thought just occurred to me. Reading this paragraph back through, my old way of thinking will change to become more open-minded as I progress through the program. So that was my
And the
takeaway.
perspective shifting is to enable us to come to a stance or stances, plural, which are most appropriate for us.
And that's why I said that part changed when you reminded me of perspective shifting. I just went, Oh, well, duh. That was
Uh,
my old
uh,
Pshaw moment. Oh,
but
Pshaw.
you make I love that. I love that. You make a really profound point though. We can easily see perspective shifting as waffling, as a
Yes,
cancellation of responsibility. To say, oh well, I don't know, I've got so many options. No, it's not about saying, black and white, oh I'm all about my stance. That black and whiteness is just a choice between two, and you're choosing one or the other. And it's a very
yes,
poorly informed choice. Yes?
yeah,
So we ignore
yeah,
all the colors. Well, I say, no, I'm going to choose red or blue or green or whatever, or my combination. Yeah, I'm going to put blue and green together and get yellow or whatever. I'm choosing my choices. I'm choosing my stances because I'm making an informed choice, not
yes,
just a limited one. This is the
right.
point of perspective shifting, to enable us to make informed, appropriate choices.
Okay. I want to put that down in my dictionary of power because
Yeah, yeah,
that was one I
yeah.
had four, I think, but
That's huge. That's huge. It's a huge point for you personally, because a
yes, it is.
stance is important to you, but you want to make an informed choice when coming to your stance. Right. Yeah.
See it, and that was that was honestly that is a big part of a victim mindset is black and white thinking.
Yeah.
You're um you're afraid of the gray area because it is very confusing and it means that there's too many choices. In a victim mindset, you see you only have one, you don't have a choice. You have
Yes.
no choice. You
Yes.
see
Yes. Yes.
you have no choice.
Yeah.
And so that's the mindset
Not
I've
your
lived in.
fault, in other words. That's just
Yeah,
the mindset. It's not my fault. Not my fault. I have no choice. Not my fault.
yes, yeah. Um, or, it's because of this that's why I'm acting this way. Well, I know better now because that victim
Yes.
mindset is no
Yeah.
longer there. Hasn't been there for months.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
So that's why I got a little confused. But then after I write, I always go back and reread what I wrote.
Yes, because you got to
And
edit it afterwards. You get it out, then you come back later and you come back with
yeah,
editing
and
mindset.
but my edits are always in like italics or parentheses or
Yeah.
bolded. I put stars by them because, hey, this is my thought. So that's why I put in here, wait, I just had this thought. This is going to change. So what am I worried about?
Yes, yes. Now, as a warrior, right? You
Yes,
go into battle and you go with your stance, but then you start fight and you say, "Oh, well, this ain't working." You change your stance, right?
you change.
So a stance
Yeah,
is not something that is fixed forevermore. It is a stance of what is appropriate now for as long as it lasts.
I like that.
Yeah, it's very simple. So we just when we shift this understanding of what a stance is, we have to take a stance, but we're taking the stance of what's most appropriate in the moment, and the stance can change. So when you look at a warrior in motion, he's going from stance to stance to stance to stance as he's ever adapting to his opponent. Right?
That's
Very
true.
simple. Very simple.
That's true. It's the same thing. Um, I'm let me type a note in here for that think of the warrior in battle.
Stance is fluid.
Yes, it is.
To
Oh,
a
yes, it
spirit
is.
warrior, yes. Oh, look at that. Yes, it is. Look at that awareness come through there. That confirmation awareness. Yes, it is. Oh my God. Yes. To a spirit warrior, stance is fluid. I want to add that to my quote file. I like that. That's very cool.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Hi.
I like that.
That's that's a definite okay. That's got my stamp.
Yes. And I want to add one thing. I can't save this for module 3 session 1 when we go into the self-conception. I just want to put this out there. Instead of spirit warrior, we have added to our collection of self-descriptions, self-conceptions, I should say. I'm sorry, self-conceptions. We have a new magical term, and that is a lotus warrior.
See, oh God, I like that. That's it right there. That's it.
Lotus Warrior.
That's it.
Lotus Warrior.
Yep. Yep. That one's going down. Definitely. See, that's what I said when I heard that and I got the visual. Everything was just kind of changing rapidly in my head, but it
Right,
shifted.
right. You know, I am Lotus, but I am a Lotus Warrior. Ooh,
But it's
and that takes it to another level. Yes,
it does. It
it's
really
like
does.
boom, and it's the whole thing. You know, it explodes. You know,
The view of myself in just this session has changed how I see myself.
has evolved.
Yes.
It's not
Yeah.
changed.
Open.
It's evolved. It's evolved. It's a difference.
Okay, there's 3 words that I chose to, and I don't know why I did this, but there's 3 words I chose to that describe my personality. And one of them I don't want to change because one of them I think is significant. I feel that me as a person, I am very multi-layered.
Yes, 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 yes. Well, write that down, please. I am
I did.
multi-layered. It's a nice confirmation, isn't it?
Yes, I
That's
did.
true.
That one is
Completely
written
happy
down.
to. Like, duh, you're multi-layered.
But I mean, I never really saw myself as that before. I saw myself as one solid body. And no, I don't see that now. I see myself as being very multi-layered, very open.
Right. That's for your sticky notes. I am multi-layered. I am open.
And I am tenacious. And I'm not sure. I want a new word for tenacious.
Oh yes. Oh, you are very tenacious. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. There was the first time I saw the word tenacity was on the back of a scrubbing brush. Old-fashioned scrubbing brushes that you used to scrub the floors with. They
Yes.
had very hard bristles, right?
Oh, the kind that I still use.
Right. And the brand name for these particular really long-lasting brushes was Tenacity.
Oh, I'll be darned. Okay. Wow, they actually were able to make that a brand name.
Yes. So there you go. So I am tenacious. I am tenacity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that
Well,
scrubbing
those are
brush
the,
that you keep going with. That's, you need tenacity to scrub shit, right?
yes, you do.
So I'm just saying, you know, because it sounded to me like you were checking or confirming the word tenacious as being appropriate here, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's keeping going. It is applying consistent pressure.
And then I'm adding on, I am
Deliberate
Lotus Warrior.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So a Lotus Warrior, to me, I am multi-layered,
Wow.
open. A lotus is always open and tenacious because that lotus could not grow out of that muck without being tenacious.
Hell yes. Hell yes. So what I
There's
would
no
recommend
way.
is go on your Word document, go Control F and type in Spirit Warrior and then replace with Lotus Warrior. Do it in
Oh
your
my.
entire document. Yes?
Yes, absolutely.
Replace all, in other words.
Okay.
With Control F, right? Does it bring? I think it's in Word. I use Open Office, but it's similar. I think Control F gives you a little pop-up screen that says, you know, you put in what you want to replace and then replace with. Yes.
Okay, got it.
Right, and then you hit replace all, and boom.
Okay, find what?
Yeah, find Spirit Warrior. Oh, that's right. That's fine. That's what they ask you. Find Spirit Warrior. However you spell Spirit Warrior, hopefully you spelled it capital S, capital W with a dash. I
Yes,
don't know.
I did.
All right, there you go. So that way, and then same thing. Lotus Warrior, capital L, capital W with a dash. Yeah.
Got it. It just said it replaced them all.
There you go. Now your whole document suddenly is transformed into it has been Sheritized. It's been lotusized. This comes from, you know, just when Erica was talking and she was in IT, you know, packetizing. It was a big concept for her. So we have lotusizing, you know. So.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, you know what? My Larry used to do the same thing. You know, it was
Magical.
they well, you know, ITs, they're
Yeah.
they're a different lot, they're a different breed, and they have a humor and geekery of their own. You just gotta love them for it. So
They celebrate nerd magic.
Yeah, and it's cool though.
It's very cool. It's very cool. It's very cool. Yes, yes. And we need
So,
to celebrate our own nerd magic.
yes.
We are all nerds in some way or another. And
Oh,
when we
definitely.
celebrate our nerdness, our particular personal nerdness, it
Yes.
becomes transformative and magical. So in one way, we could have said, back in the day, we would have said, Sher's lotusness is her nerdness. Not anymore. Now it is her magic. But it's still your nerdness in a way too, isn't it?
But it's my way of being.
Precisely. It is that is what nerdness is. It is claiming and owning and celebrating your particular way of being. Yes.
And it's unique to me.
Exactly. Exactly. I am me.
I
I
am.
am me. I am me. Well, duh. But how many
So,
people can say that I am me?
see, this is why ever since you had mentioned to me about, changing, possibly thinking about Sherry Speaks, I had been thinking about it. I just hadn't come up with anything that really resonated with me. So, I don't know what I'm going to do with my name. I'm just going to try to,
Ah, Sherry shares rather than share.
yeah. Well, there's another one that on my personal page on IG. I have two. I have one that's personal that I can share whatever I want to,
Right,
just
right,
family, dogs, that kind of stuff.
right, right.
And on that, it's titled Shares Life.
Nice,
Um,
nice, 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 nice,
and
nice.
and it was
My
available, and that's one that's been really resonating with me. Is this is my life. This isn't anybody else's. It's my
right,
story, my
right,
life.
right. Then make that your caption. This is
Um,
all caps. My life
my life. Yeah,
is my life, or just my life.
yeah. Hmm. Still
Mm,
working and trying to take ownership of me.
yes, owning me.
Yeah,
Claiming
bringing
me.
it back.
Take
I'm
it
bringing it
even.
back.
Take it one step further. We are now shifting into celebrating me.
That is a big one. Baby steps.
Yes, but we want to know where we are heading.
Yes.
Yes, we are starting this process. Yes, it is a delicate process. Yes, it is a long process. Celebrating me, I'm going to start with little tiny steps because little by little leads to leaps and bounds, incremental change. But I want
Yeah.
to get into this habit of celebrating me, no matter how tiny. I'm going to focus and emphasize celebrating me to keep building that, keep growing that, right?
And that should be done daily.
Yes,
Okay,
a
not should. It
daily
ought to be
habit
done
of
daily.
celebrating not the all of me necessarily, but at least some part of me.
Some part of me. And that,
Continually in the process of celebrating something about me so that I can get into the habit of being what I can celebrate.
and I can make that a daily discipline, a daily
Yes,
practice,
yes.
once
To
each day.
be to be something that you can celebrate.
Yes.
Do it the other way around. First, do something new, and then say, "Oh, I'm doing it so that I can celebrate it." Now you're doing this double purpose. You're not celebrating some past thing. You're celebrating some new acquisition of being. You are celebrating the growth, the change. I am growing. In other words, you are focusing on capital P progression, which
Oh,
means I have changed. I am changing. I can change. Means I will change.
got it.
Capital P progression. It is a huge thing. We always want to be celebrating progression. Always. And
Always.
through celebrating progression, it makes us want to progress even more. So the key is now, through celebrating progression, we shift into that application mode. So we are saying, I'm getting into the habit of applying, of doing something new, of applying my new learning, my new growth. This is
Okay.
application. And I'm celebrating the fact that I am applying it. I am growing. I am learning. I am making that effort to add something new to myself, to expand. Progression is the focus and celebration of my expansion of self.
That I can definitely absorb. I can be very open to that.
Yes, yes. Not
Yeah.
just celebrating my past stuff, well, because then I'm just, no, I'm in a process, I'm in a journey. I'm celebrating the fact that I'm doing something to expand. I'm celebrating my doingness of expansion. This is an incredible celebration. This is a most transformative celebration.
I
You're
want
right,
to find out what fertilizes the lotus.
by the way. Say that again.
I said I just had this thought. I wonder, you were talking about, we don't want to celebrate the past. Of course I don't. But what fertilizes is the connection on a daily, is the connection to myself and to others, to the universe.
Yes.
Is that what fertilizes the lotus flower?
Yes. The supreme nobility of the lotus is that it celebrates and worships the fertilizer.
Okay. That's
Celebrates
I do that.
it, appreciates the lotus. So when the ox comes and it fertilizes the pool, the lotus says, "Thank you, ox. I appreciate your contribution to my lotusness." It's not muck, it's fertilizer.
So the lessons.
Every bit of crap that gets dropped into your pool is fertilizer, not crap.
It is. That's why I'm so appreciative of, even I can shift, even if somebody has been very negative to me or harmful or something, I can turn that around. Instead of feeling pain, I feel gratitude.
For
And
the
I did that
fertilizer.
yesterday. Yeah, I
For
did
the
that yesterday.
fertilizer. Yes. That
Yeah,
word fertilizer goes into a dictionary of power.
okay. I'm gonna put that
It
in
is
there.
magically for a lotus. It's all about fertilizer, not muck. The lotus never sees it as muck, it sees it as fertilizer. Yeah?
Yes, I'm writing that
It
in.
is what has made the lotus. Without that, the lotus cannot be lotus. Without all of the fertilizer of your past, you cannot be magical, wondrous lotus. Sure. No, can't be that.
See, now I'm excited because I get to go change everything.
Yes, backward compatibility. Exactly.
Yeah.
When there's an update to your computer, it changes everything backward compatible. It makes all of the old stuff, it all gets updated in the past, right?
Yeah.
When you get an
Yeah.
upgrade and an update to your computer, that's it. It changes it all in backward compatibility. Yes.
This changed everything, the way I was seeing everything. And honestly, okay, while grateful for going through the gauntlet, it's nothing I would recommend to anybody, but it was fertilizer that got me to where I am in this moment.
It got you to, because you lotus. That just is your path you've chosen. Whenever, for whatever reason, when you came in, you said, "Okay, I'm going to be a lotus." All right. Oh, I like lotus. I didn't really think about what it means to be lotus. I found out afterwards. Well, lotus grow in the crap. Oh, okay. But now, it was still a good choice, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Have to be careful what we wish for. We wish to be a lotus.
Yeah. Ooh, I get to choose my color.
And they can change too. You're a magical lotus.
I can change colors anytime I
You're
want.
just a lotus. You're a magical lotus because you're a lotus warrior. Very big
Change all
difference.
kinds of colors.
Yes, you can be rainbow lotus if you like.
The landscape.
Yeah. You can be a reflective lotus. You can be an absorbing lotus. You can be all sorts of different lotus. You can be a confirming lotus. All sorts of lotus.
Oh, I like that. That's a good one, Beena. A rainbow lotus.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes.
Ooh, I wonder if I can find it.
Isn't that interesting how you pulled it from Beena?
Yeah. Well, because she's so bright and colorful anyways.
Exactly.
I've never seen her.
See how intuition works. You see how intuition works.
This is my image and that I've got in my head of Beena, and I've not ever seen a picture of her. So I'm gonna say she probably has very striking long dark hair. And I bet it's really shiny. Maybe a little wavy.
Maybe a little wavy.
Maybe a little wavy.
There's a story to that waviness. It's a story of intent.
Yes. Yes.
I'm also thinking she's probably very slender in feature and in frame. And I'm taking that because of her very soft and graceful voice that she has and her way of speaking. And I'm imagining elegant, graceful movements with her hands. And I would also imagine that when she walks, she doesn't leave a footprint.
She glides, not walks. Yeah.
So that's how I visualize Beena.
Okay.
But the fun part is I also see her wearing beautiful colors like the ones that she plays with in her posts. The brilliant reds and the greens and the blues and the yellows. I see her in those.
And what I just heard, Beena, I mean, yes, I heard that's very accurate for Beena. There are some modifications to that because of deliberate oddities and peculiarities of intent. Which,
Yes.
but what I heard actually Sher describing Sher.
Yes.
Think
Exactly.
so?
Yes.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Oh. Oh. Yes.
Confirmation?
Yes. And like you were saying, okay, Sher says yes, but I'm not slender of frame.
Okay.
But psychologically, you are.
Okay.
In my mind, I am.
Right. And you weren't always big of frame, right? Like you are now. It's an unnatural condition, correct?
Right.
Right. And you're looking to remedy this, yes?
Yes.
Right. That conception of you in your mind as slender of frame, see yourself that way. I actually do recommend doing this. Go and get one of those carnival mirrors that make. I really mean this. I'm truly, really serious about this. This is a very big deal. It's not just a fun and games thing, but to have one of those slenderizing mirrors that really distort you, I mean, significantly, right? And put this up and look at yourself, say, that's who I actually am. To get it in your mind, because when you see yourself that way, the body tries to grow towards it.
Oh.
Yes, yes, yes. Because it now, but this is who I am. The body resists change because change is threatening, so change is stressful to it. But when you say, but no, that's who I actually am. You see it and you have that visualization, the body, okay, it's actually okay. Because it sees it, it's not this unknown, right? It sees it. So yeah, very, very useful thing to do. Very powerful. Very simple.
Wow.
I love
but
bright
really
gold
huge.
colors.
Yeah.
I just don't wear them.
Why not?
Because it's like really, really, really cold.
Okay. But when you get that mirror, especially the very first time, before you unpack it and put it up somewhere in your house, dress up in your most colorful colors that you can. So that very first impression in that slim mirror is you slim in these magical colors.
Okay.
Make that association in your mind that this is colorful Sher, slim Sher. It's a really profound thing. Really
Flowers
profound.
in her hair.
There's a Colin Wilson. He's an author and he writes a whole range of stuff. And he did a lot of non-fiction writing. In self-exploration, self-discovery. And one thing that he did, he went to, I forget how the story started. I'm just pulling my takeaway from it in the abstract, in the key parts that was important. He found this computer artist who could take photos of people and transform the photo and then, to get the person. And he did it with the person like a police sketch artist. But they did it to say, okay, how they would like to look, right? And it said, okay, make my chin a little bit more, more determined, and make my eyes a little bit more sober and serious. Make me a bit more colorful, but more joyful. Anyway, and they changed the physical appearance to what somebody would like to look at, and the body also, right? And then these people used those photos, and when they had them, I forget how it started. They just did it kind of as a sort of a fun thing. How would you like to look? But then they discovered that when people had these photos, they actually grew to be that and changed to be that. And it was quite a rapid process too. It was very transformative for them to have a visual of what they would like to be. And this assisted them very greatly it's something that's on my list of things to do, to find a program where we can do this and utilize this magical technique. When you can see yourself the way you actually would like to be, it facilitates the process of change. Really rapidly, it's a very profound change. So in your case, Sher, with a slimming mirror, because you're also short. So because you are short, your proportions are magnified.
Yes.
that mirror is going to switch it, and oh wow, wow, it's going to change. So this is a big deal. We really help you a lot. You'll see what I mean. Very magical.
I'm going to.
Right.
I'm
Yeah,
going to.
very
I have to get supplies today anyways, because people
Right.
are starting. This is just, they're being nuts. They're panicking.
Right. Right.
People are panicking over the virus.
Right.
And so, of course, here supplies are going like crazy.
Right. So also when you see that, when you understand that your size, it's also you have to really pay attention here, because you can also see it as power. So you want to see yourself in a way that represents, because sometimes we do see it, and your lotus may be coming out as an inappropriate expression through the bulk as power. There's lots of power in Sher.
Yes, there is.
Right?
When I see the lotus opening, I see the lotus open as opening.
Yes, exactly.
Beauty, opening love and goodness
Right.
and
Right. You don't have to
boundness.
prove. You don't have to prove that you are more through bulk.
No,
You don't need to do that. You can
no.
prove through lotus, rather, through the blossoming of your beauty. And the lotus has a fragility to it too, but that's its power.
Yes. My moreness, the physical moreness, that was actually added on as a false sense of security. It was
Correct.
to protect
Correct.
me
Correct.
from
Correct.
what I thought people
Correct.
were.
Correct. Correct.
And I don't need that anymore. So
Nope,
that's why
nope,
I've been changing
nope.
it.
Right. So in the physical moreness, it is to reassociate it, to say this is an inappropriate expression of my moreness. I can express my
yeah.
moreness through lotus rather than through ox bulk. I don't need to
I have
show
to
that
write
I'm
that
more
down.
by being,
Wait, I can express my moreness.
through lotus.
Lotus.
Right. And I say through ox bulk because the ox is so connected to the lotus, So there's
Yes.
ox logic, but we can see an ox as power, as a monist. But okay, the ox is for the fertilizer. That's it. Thank you, ox. It's your contribution to lotus.
Oh no, I understood what you were meaning. I didn't take it wrong.
Yeah. I'm just emphasizing it. It's a huge point, and the ox is a mythological figure in lotus logic. Ox is part of lotus mythology, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to read all about this stuff because it's
No. Create your own.
no. I meant like
Yeah, but create your own rather. Write your own stories of mythology about lotus and ox. That's it.
okay.
Just create your own mythology of lotus and ox. That's it.
Putting a star
This is
by
your
that.
personal mythology. Personal mythology is incredibly, incredibly powerful. So make your own. Don't go and read other. I mean, really, seriously, I
Okay.
mean it. Don't go read it, because create your own rather.
Create
Write these
my
little
own.
magical stories of lotus and ox and lotus and crane and lotus and all of the other stuff. Make your own mythology. Lotus and willow, lotus and stream, there's all sorts of things you can go. You've got a magical mythology that you can embroider on as appropriate.
You know what? As you're naming these things, the lotus and the crane, I'm kind of thinking of CJ there.
There you
And
go.
then when you said lotus and willow, I thought of a couple of other people that I'm very close to. So
Beena, do you have a few other characters for the mythology of lotus?
yes, I do.
Beena, I want to ask too. So yeah, go ahead. You say what other characters do you have in your mythology here?
Oh, for me?
Yeah, I want to hear Beena too, but yeah.
Oh my gosh, there would have to also be the lotus and the sparrow.
Of course. Lotus and sparrow, not the sparrow. No. In mythology, there are sparrows.
Sparrow.
Yes, it's right there. Mythology, it's not it's sparrow, right? It's S, capital S. Ox is capital O, right? They are characters. Lotus and ox, lotus and willow. It's not the willow. No. Lotus and willow, right? They take on the moreness, right? Sparrow takes on this profound moreness now when it's lotus and sparrow, yes?
Yes.
Sparrow is a
And then
mythological
now what I'm
creature.
thinking is that these feel like they are each a part of the journey that I've been on. So that if I take each one of the lessons that I've learned and I apply it to a spiritual animal or um,
Yes, the
something in my
more.
environment like the fox.
Fox,
There's somebody
sparrow,
in my
aye,
life.
lotus and fox.
Yeah,
Oh, yes. Because when
yeah,
they become mythological characters, they get to immediately connect to their mourners, right? When you
yes,
change it from the sparrow to sparrow, immediately, boom, there's this connection to the mourners. Yes?
yeah. It's not just a sparrow now.
Ah,
This is
no, it's sparrow.
sparrow,
It's
sparrow.
sparrow. Yeah,
Yeah,
sparrow is in your dictionary of power.
yeah, it is. And then there's also bear. Um,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. Yes.
There's
Yes. One day, Lotus was hanging about in the pond, ruminating. Bear came to visit. Bear drank. Oh, Lotus said, Bear is power. Oh, I can maybe use this power. Ah, yeah, that's it. You tell stories much better than I do, but you see my point now. Now
yes.
you have a story, you know.
But that's when we were talking about organizing my
Yes,
journey into a series.
yes,
This
yes,
is where this
yes,
is what the series
yes,
is.
yes. One day, Lotus awoke. And Lotus was the rain. Lotus was in a different pool. Lotus looked out the window of this pool and saw a sparrow. Just writing, just ad-libbing real quick. But you see my point now.
Yeah.
When you retell that story, and you put it in a mythological setting, you went in the hospital, you were in a different pool.
It just,
It just blows it into this magic now, and it's
yeah.
mad. Write them as children's stories for adults.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes. Write them as
That is
fables.
so inspirational.
Yes, it is. And you connect to the moreness. You have license to put all the more magicalness. Now, your sparrow story, you can add in moreness. They don't have to be precisely accurate. Yes, I mean, you can add that mythological moreness of the more of now to the more to the then to the more of then. You see what I mean? You can really
Yes.
transform that story into
And with the
what you see
lesson,
it as now, the as a part of the emergence of Lotus. You know what I mean?
right,
So,
right.
yeah, yeah.
With the lesson
Like
and
you
it's
say,
not hurting anybody.
yes, like when Lotus didn't know it was Lotus,
Yes.
and then
Oh, I
Sparrow
love
came
it.
and said, "Oh, Lotus, why are you crying, Lotus? You have this conversation with Sparrow, and you put these Sparrow words. You can make it into more. It doesn't have to be accurate. That's the magic of myths. You can take them beyond just saying what your story was. No, you're mythologizing it, which means you can add in all the moreness you like. You can add in what you would have liked the story to be at the time. Yeah? You can
Yes.
go crazy with it. You can do whatever you like with it. Your story is simply an inspiration for the myth. Right? Personal mythology is something that is ridiculously profound and huge. I have a post on personal mythology. It's a very, very big deal. It's not in the way of impeccability as a session, but I think that at some point it will be. So there's a lot to put into this. So yeah. This is very exciting. It's very exciting. Beena, you have some characters to that you would imagine to add? Unless you had more, I keep going because you want to roll there. You said bear was the last one. More?
Oh, I put an eagle. I mean, there's all kinds of animals. There's the owl, Lotus and the owl.
Yeah. Oh, Lotus and what?
Lotus and owl.
Yes. Lotus and eagle. Yes. These
Yes.
are all ones that have specific relevance to you already. I know bear. I've heard bear, and I
Yes.
also know sparrow very intimately.
Yes.
And fox. I think you mentioned too. So man, I haven't heard eagle yet, or what's the last one you said? Eagle
I
and
really don't
owl.
have
Oh,
anybody in my life that represents an eagle right now. Maybe they have. I'd have to think about that. But the owl, a lot of ways, some ways I would see you as the owl.
it's owl, not the owl.
Wise.
Oh, I like that. Thank you. Wow.
Wise, discerning,
I'll try and make my owl face.
watchful.
Yeah. I'll have to pretend these are feathers, right?
There's another one, like there's something about a river, Lotus and River.
Oh, Lotus and River. Yes. Oh, yes.
That to me represents part of a struggle. because the
Yes,
river is fast moving. I mean,
yes. Lotus found itself in river and said, "Ooh, this is a tricky way of being."
yeah.
Whatever. It's like, wow, this is a different to my pool. It's like, man, it's quite a challenge to live in river. Oh, wait a second, I think I
Yep.
want to go back to my pool.
My roots are being pulled. I'm being
Yes.
stretched beyond my limits. Yeah.
Wow. Lotus has all sorts of magical adventures. Wow, what a story. What a story. Yeah.
So this is going to be interesting. This is really going to
Yeah.
be
Yes.
wonderfully opening.
Really interesting, Sher. Please do
Unbelievable.
write that.
Yeah. Lotus
And add from my side, it is lotus and a giraffe.
Oh,
and giraffe, not the giraffe. Lotus and giraffe.
Yes,
Right? The same
yes.
mythological creatures. Yes. So we're gonna Lotus and giraffe. Wow,
my
Beena.
favorite majestic animal besides the giraffe is an elephant.
Wow,
I
Lotus and elephant.
absolutely love elephants because
Wow.
they
Yes.
are they're noble. They're of course they're majestic, but
Yes.
they are so profoundly connected to each other and to their tribe and to their family.
Yes. There's something else, and I use elephant as a really profound metaphor for a mechanism for completely stepping outside of hierarchy. Okay, so everybody says, "Oh, I want to be a lion. Lion is king of the jungle." Yeah, but lion mindset and being king of the jungle—that's all hierarchy mindset. So Lotus comes along, and Lotus hangs out with lion, and say, "Wow, okay, this is cool. I'm king of the jungle. I'm hierarchy." But then one day, elephant came along. And elephant was just walking, but elephant was walking right at lion, and suddenly lion said, "Oh, I gotta go." "Oh, well, why?" says Lotus. Well, because elephant's coming. Elephant's not stopping. Elephant's just coming. Elephant's just walking, but lion is getting out of the way. Oh, I have to move. Oh, what happened to being king of the jungle?
Oh, oh,
Elephant is completely outside of the hierarchy. Elephant cares nothing about being king. Elephant is not interested. It doesn't take any cognizance. It has no conception of lion as being king of the jungle. Elephant was just walking, and lion got out of the way. That's it. That's it. Be other. Be the other of elephant in the jungle, and the hierarchy doesn't touch you. It is irrelevant to you. Elephant couldn't care two hoots about lion being king of the jungle or any kind of hierarchy. There's no relevance to it. Yes?
I just love that. I love that.
Elephant
Sandy
was
and I
just
like
walking,
elephants.
and king and lion had to scramble out of the way. Lotus said,
Exactly.
"Where are you going? Where are you going? I don't want to get trampled by elephant." Oh, okay. Big story.
Um,
Big story. Big
what
story.
about lotus and tiger, of course, but here's one that I like, lotus and snake.
Ooh. Wow. 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 Wow.
Snake.
Wow. Yeah. Snake
There's all
in the Bible, or serpent, right? Didn't tell
yes.
any lies. It didn't tell any lies to Eve. Everything it
No.
said was actually true.
Yes.
So Lotus sees snake as this magical representation of perspective shifting to
Yes.
discernment. To say snake is poorly misunderstood because snake was just being honest, but snake was inappropriately honest and it got a bad reputation as a result.
Yes.
It wasn't discerning enough. It didn't explain enough, right? It wasn't strategic. Oh. Very magical. Beena, besides giraffe, what else? I'm just curious. Did anything else come up for you?
Beena?
Sorry, say it again, please.
Any other characters in the Lotus mythology? Did any other come up for you?
Not really, because I was actually stuck in that story of lotus and elephant and lotus and giraffe. Why giraffe? Because of its height and the way they drink water from the pond. So while the giraffe is drinking water, trying to drink water and see a lotus, it's a very amusing story in my mind.
Yes, lotus sees giraffe only when it's drinking. So to
Yes.
lotus, giraffe is this big triangle. It's like a pyramid. right?
Oh, it would
From
have to
Wow.
be.
Lotus's perspective, giraffe is not tall.
Yes.
Lotus sees giraffe as pyramid, right?
Yes.
Very
Yes.
stable, very solid, very magical, and you know, yeah, just a fun little story to, hey, we can see things, and because we are stuck in a particular perspective, then one day Lotus got out of the pool because when it was in the river or wherever, it went up on the mountain or something, and so, oh wow, giraffe, actually, who's that? Oh, it's giraffe. Oh wow, okay. So it's just a story of perspective shifting. Yeah, I love
The
that,
one
Beena.
that's going to be fun is Lotus and the monkey.
And monkey, oh
Wow.
monkey, yes, monkey, yes, yes, yes. Yes, and see the monkey laugh. Did you hear the monkey laugh right there?
And and see what monkeys do. They
Yes,
see and
yes.
Yeah.
Monkey is a magical creature. Monkey is very magical. Yes, Lotus really loves monkey.
and and I was just laughing. You guys start laughing.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
but
Monkey is
like
joy. Monkey is our childlike innocence. Monkey is everything that is really just, yeah. Monkey is very magical.
I also thought, like I'm using elements of the weather, like lotus and wind.
Yes, lotus and cloud. Yes, yes. Lotus and rain. Yes, yes. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, and then lotus and the priest, lotus and the monk, lotus and the
Yep.
nun. Use those representations too. Lotus and the businessman, because everybody comes by the pond at some point in time, right?
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
come to hang out, and then it's lotus and the Buddha.
Well, um,
Actually, it is a
businessman,
very, very
I would say,
significant.
I was gonna say
Oh,
businessman, I would say carpetbagger because,
oh yeah,
you know,
oh yeah, oh yeah. And
they
this
don't
is
even.
exactly. So this is why I'm recommending you do not read any of those myths. Absolutely don't, because they are going to
No.
influence you. And then you are going to have that as a no, you want to bring this from your pure. So when you write your story of Lotus and the Buddha, it is purely a Lotus warrior Sher story. It's not influenced by that at all. It may overlap with it or not, who cares? Doesn't matter. It becomes your pure story. You
It
don't have
also
that influence.
it's also going to protect the people in my life that I feel are innocent.
Yeah,
Um,
right, right,
so then,
right,
if people will not be able to say, "Oh my gosh, that's you," that's that person in your life. Because
right.
I've always worried about that is to how to protect,
Right. But you are
like my
using your
kids.
mythology to extend the boundaries. You write your story, that is your story. But now you're using the mythology to say, what if? What if it had happened this way? What did I learn? What was the gift? What could it have been? So it's a mechanism where you can go anywhere with it. You can write it as a very realistic representation, or it can be what could have been,
I
right?
like that.
And what you would like it to be, what would give you joy to be. So you can go anywhere with it because it's mythology, and this is the magic of mythology. It is precisely the application of what if, my joy of my what if, my magic. There's some magical stories, and in magical stories, you can do whatever the hell you like.
I like that.
That's it. That's the point of your Lotus stories. They are this whatever you like, right? You are writing stories of your magic and magicalness and what you would like to see happen and what you would like to learn, what you would like to share as a point of view, as a perspective, as an understanding, as a whole range of everything. Mythology is completely open. So the Lotus stories are Sher's mythology, Sher's personal mythology. It's mythology, not stories. It's mythology. I mean, really emphasize this point. It's mythology. Right? Myth is something that's open. It's not realistic necessarily. It's not accurate. No, it's all about abstract points of magic. Yes.
Yes.
All right. So keep
All
going. Keep
right.
going. We went
Okay.
a bit horizontal on Lotus, but this is really awesome.
Actually, that was pretty much about it. I mean, I gave
Oh,
my
yeah.
I gave my take away, and um, I think, yeah,
Perfect.
that's about it.
Perfect. That's it. Oh, so it's a good time for us to go off on this mythology
Yes.
of Lotus because, suddenly we are in this magical space now where Sher has our takeaway, at least my takeaway recap from this. You've said so many powerful things of your intent, But now that you are shifting it into this intent of actually applying, celebrating Lotus Sher as Lotus Warrior. Oh, man. What a magical thing. And your whole life just opens up. And there's so much that you can do with this one single conception. So we've actually skipped to module 3, session 1, the self-conception session, that we have already got this conception of Sher as Lotus Warrior. Sher as Lotus. Sher is Lotus. It's like, man, well, what a journey we are just on. You know, I'm so privileged and so thankful to be on this journey of Lotus Sher. You know, that's awesome.
Thank you. So am I. I'm
Yeah.
grateful.
Oh gosh, and appreciative. Yes, yes.
And
yes.
appreciative. Very appreciative. I have plenty to self-appreciate for today, and plenty to thank, plenty to be grateful for. So
Yeah, and this profound concept of confirmation, appreciation, self-appreciation is confirmation of self-honesty of what is real in us that is good.
absolutely.
That's it. It's honesty. Self-appreciation is an act of honesty. End of story.
Yes, it is. I gotta write that
How
down.
in the hell does Lotus not appreciate itself?
There's no way it can't.
It's not possible. It's not possible. Right.
And
If Lotus
honesty is
confuses
in
itself
capital
with a
A.
muck, if Lotus confuses itself with a muck, then maybe yes. But that's a nice little story, you know, where Lotus is kind of just looking down all the time into the muck and thinks that the muck is it. And then one day, you know, somebody comes and picks Lotus up and you know, and says, oh, wow, wait a second, what happened to, I'm not muck, I don't know. You can make the story, but I'm just, you know, my mind is in that now. It's just a magical thing, you know.
I also wrote that down. How could Lotus confuse itself?
Muck. Yeah,
That's
it's very easy
important.
because it was so close to it. You see, it never had perspective, but then it got lifted up one day and it got some perspective. Hey, wait a second, muck is down there. That means I'm not muck. Oh. That's it. Just that perspective shift of that understanding that the two are separate. And Lotus had been too close to the muck and it confused itself with muck. But now, even when it was put down, it realized, no, I'm just on the muck. I'm above the muck. I'm not the muck. I'm different to the muck. I'm not muck. I am Lotus.
Mhm.
Muck is my magic that
Sounds
makes
so
me.
powerful. I am
Yes.
Lotus.
Yes.
I am Lotus.
Yes. By definition, I am not muck. I am Lotus.
Exactly.
But Lotus wasn't always aware of this.
No.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Absolutely.
It wasn't always aware of this. No.
No.
Perspective shifting made all the difference to Lotus.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
Oh man, I can't wait to read the fables of Lotus.
This will be fun. This will be a whole new journey.
Yes, a whole new book series. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Through myths, we can do so much that we can't do through our regular stories. We can add that more, that magic that could have been, you know, that's it. You know, we
That's
can add
true.
more. So the myth writing is all about adding that more deliberately of what we would have liked it to be, what we want it to be, to go more, to go beyond, to go extra. Very, very powerful. Very, very, very powerful.
Like the Biela series.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And like Edgy, have you read Edgy?
Not yet. I'm getting there.
All right.
I've got 2 more books I'm finishing up here, and
it's very short. It's a 10-minute story. Read it
Okay.
to CJ.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will.
Very simple. And also just in this concept of Lotus, now it gives you a segue. And the next day, you write a Lotus story and you read it to CJ. Mm-hmm. So listen to it. Just hey, I want to share something with you. You're not reading it to him. You're sharing it with him. Big difference.
I would write my revelation and our conversation that we had, CJ and I, the other day, but turn it into Mornis, using the Mornis. Hold on, but with as my monkey.
Yes. Wow.
And that's who I was thinking of as monkey is
Wow.
Lotus and
Wow.
monkey.
Wow. Wow. And the magic of the myths is that they don't quite exactly correspond to the thing that they're based on. So when
Right.
she gave me, but are you kind of talking about us? But then there's moreness. It's not exactly right. But in that, where the differences lie, that's where we get to extend and expand.
Okay.
We identify, but the moreness is where we can extend and expand. Right?
Like when CJ writes, he gets a concept. He writes some really neat little short stories, and he'll get a concept, and he just lets it flow. And then
Wow.
before you know it, he's got a beginning, middle, and end.
Wow.
And it's just a little page, but he's writing all these stories. And they're these fantastical, wild, imaginative stories, but they're fun.
Yes. Yes.
You know.
Yes, yes. And Lotus has a magical vibe to it. And you'll see it in Hedgie. That's why if you read what I read at the end, I give the kind of an author's understanding of the logic behind. You'll see what I'm saying. You'll see. Yeah, 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 yeah. There's a conceptuality that we apply that becomes transcendent and transformative. It's very
Is that
exciting.
on your that's on your in the group?
Yeah, I have it. I sent it to you one time, and I'll send you the blog link right now. So
Okay.
I'll put it in Messenger. Yeah, because
Okay.
in Zoom, the minute we close Zoom, you don't have access to the chat anymore. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll send you the link. No problem. That's very exciting. Beena, while I do this, do you have any takeaway? Anything you'd like to add?
Uh, okay, today is with Sher. It's a wonderful experience because I saw so many emotions stirring up, and it shows for me. It shows that it is deeply making connections. These ideas of wave compatibility is making connections with her emotions, with her deeper self, with her inner self, and it is not just on the surface. So it is really wonderful to experience these emotional responses what she shares with us.
Yeah.
And other than that, what I feel that somehow later on we will come to the point where Sher, as a lotus warrior, will realize that she is not responsible for other people, which
Wow.
I feel that
Wow.
still she feels.
Wow. Wow, Beena. Wow.
That's a big one.
Wow. Yes. Yes.
But you are on your way, Cher. You don't need to stress on that, but you are on your way. And
Yes.
I'm really, really happy that you are here and you are sharing.
Yes. Yes. Now, Lotus, and in the pond, right? And everybody comes to sit on the side of the pond. They come to drink. They come to do washing. They do all sorts of things. And Lotus is, but is Lotus now, when you talk about responsibility, at some point, Lotus realizes I'm an observer.
I'm an observer, and I could also see myself as being not responsible for others, but people could actually focus in on me to feel comfort.
Everybody talks to Lotus, yes, when they come and do their laundry or their washing or whatever,
Yes.
right? They talk to Lotus, but they don't realize that Lotus is out there in the pool. Lotus isn't them.
No, just
Right.
just observing.
Right.
Not
But you are a
responsible.
participant because they are talking to you. You are
Yes.
making space for them. This is what Lotus realizes. But I didn't say anything. I can't even talk to you. I'm Lotus. I'm just a flower. But yet Lotus was transformative in their lives simply by being there, by being Lotus.
That's what I want to be. I just want to be there.
Yeah, just be Lotus. Does Lotus talk back to the people? No.
And you
Lotus
are.
is Lotus. That's all that Lotus needs to do. Lotus one day realizes, oh my goodness, I don't have to do anything. I just have to be Lotus.
Just be Lotus. Nobody else.
Be Lotus. That's all you need to do. And you just have to appear in the pond. Now, Lotus may have noticed that there was this pond that had no Lotus in it. And people came and they didn't talk to Lotus, and they just came and they didn't share, and nothing happened without Lotus in the pond, right? maybe Lotus goes submerges in the pond or something, or Lotus somehow magically gets turned invisible because Lotus thinks it's invisible, so nobody can see Lotus. I don't know. It's a myth. You can make up any legitimized reason for Lotus suddenly noticing people where there's no Lotus in the pond. Right? This is the magic of myth. We can be creative. We can make up whatever we do. See? So, Buddha comes to the pond and he said, "Oh, there you go, Lotus. You're invisible for a while. See what a difference it makes to you when you're invisible." When you believe you're invisible. Oh, Lotus believed they were invisible because Buddha said they were invisible, and suddenly Lotus was invisible to everybody who came to the pond.
That's powerful.
Because you used to believe you were invisible, yes?
Yes, I did.
You weren't really, but you believed you were, and because you believed you were, it actually made you invisible. So now you have a double story. You have, now you've got compounding myth going on here in the abstract of it, right? Wow, this is a realization that Lotus can make a difference simply by not believing that they are invisible. Simply by being visible, Lotus suddenly made a difference. And I said, oh, Lotus in the pond, and people started relating differently, right?
Yeah.
And they started sharing, and Lotus was valuable and useful simply by being Lotus. Because by being a Lotus, they made space for people to share. Everybody comes and talks to Lotus and shares their hearts. They do. That's what they come to the pond for, is to see Lotus, to share Lotus, to observe Lotus, to imbibe Lotus, to absorb Lotus, to share to Lotus. That's it. This is the end. So Lotus coaching, very different kind of a coaching.
Oh my goodness. That's got something to it.
Oh my goodness, put Lotus coaching in your dictionary of power. It's a very different thing. How can Lotus possibly even dream of telling people what to do? Totally cannot. Totally cannot. Totally cannot. That goes against everything that Lotus is, right?
Exactly, and that's why I've been having so much resistance lately. So.
Exactly. That's why the teller of I don't know, whatever, that telling person gives you so much grief, and why it disturbs and bothers you too, so because you understand it is so completely against the nature of Lotus.
That's what's been bothering me.
It's a wrongness.
I can't handle being told
right. But also it is to let you know that when you get into telling mode, you are likewise that person that you cannot stand.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Right. It's what bothers you about yourself, not about them. When you realize that you do it also. Oh, that's why it bothers me, because I do it inadvertently the same way they do.
Yeah.
Right.
And I try to catch that.
So now we have a fantastical myth, right? I'm trying to think of a creature, of an animal, and I'm thinking probably a bird that kind of a crow, they kind of, but this was a very like a crow and a parrot that's combined. They have a squawkiness and they're telling you stuff, right? And so a parrot maybe, that's heard all these words, that used to hang out in the village, and it picked up all these words, and then it came, and this parrot thought it was wise, and the parrot didn't just, it started telling Lotus, right, what it had absorbed, and it was just repeating, but it said it in a telling way, and this is very bothersome to Lotus. And anyway, you get the whole point, because really this particular teller is a parrot. There's no realness to it. It's just all, yes, some of it is valuable, but it's really bullshit because they're just parroting.
Exactly.
And also that assumption of sensibility and wisdom, this parrot trying to pretend that it was this, whatever it was, humans and people, and this bothered Lotus, the falseness of parrot. Right.
Yes,
right.
exactly.
But then you have to write into your story how Lotus kind of did the same thing, and that parrot was this gift from Buddha. Buddha sent parrot to visit Lotus because it knew that it was going to bother Lotus, because Lotus was also doing it in its own peculiar way. Make it a more story, magic.
You're gonna have to.
Stories.
That one's a good one.
Yeah.
That one is a good one.
Yeah. Love that. Yeah. Brilliant. All right. Let's wrap it up. Did you have anything else to add, Beena?
Yeah, you guys are just giving me so much to think about, to feel, to let it sink in. So I'm just observing here, and I'm just receiving what you guys are sharing. It's beautiful.
Yes. And isn't Beena, just the name Beena? Beena to me is a mythological name. When I think of Beena, I see Beena as this mythological creature living in the real world. That's it.
I do too. I do too.
And Sher, what you imagine and what you shared with us, that how you imagine me. There is very particular story, very peculiar story about. Might be wavy here. I will share with you later in our next session.
Okay. I look forward to it.
and also that I used to be very slender. Oh yes, of course, very slim. It was very difficult to find fit jeans for myself, but I actually intentionally, deliberately put on weight
Did you?
to
For
secure
strategic.
myself, to feel protected, to feel not bothered by others. So that's why I relate to that story, and I know that
And there's
what's
moreness
happened.
to that also. Beena's not sharing the fullness of why the putting on the
Yes.
weight. There's a moreness to it.
Yeah.
It's a big
Yes.
story. It's a big story. Big
So
story.
so we will share later,
Right.
and I would love to share with you.
Yeah, yeah. I'd love to hear it as a myth, of a Beena myth.
That's
Yes.
amazing. So then next time, will you share that with me?
Of course, of course.
Okay.
Love it. I love it. I love it.
That is
So
wonderful.
your overview takeaway, just
My overview takeaway.
just of just just to
Briefly?
end on a climax.
Okay.
Okay,
Here's
you can
my
maybe just say it was
here's my
magical. It was
takeaway.
magical.
There's my
Ah,
takeaway.
yes, yes,
Beautiful. Beautiful.
yes.
Yes.
Bingo.
That's
Mic
it,
drop.
right? I
Mic drop.
can't.
Mic drop. Mic drop. Yes. I love it. I love it. On that magical
Nothing more
notice.
needed.
I love it. On that magical notice, okay, we'll see you. So, Sher,
Yes.
just to make sure, I want to put on my calendar the time. Where's my calendar? Where's my calendar? Okay, so I have you down as 10 my time, 12 your time,
Okay. On
right?
Mondays.
On Mondays. Well, no. Let me adjust this. I have you down next week. Well, today is Friday, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me go to next week. So next week I have you down at 8 o'clock my time, 10 o'clock your time on Monday and Friday.
Right.
And
10
then on
Monday and Friday.
right. And then on Wednesday I have it at 12 o'clock your time, 10 o'clock my time.
Okay. Got it.
So just to show you why, I'll do screen share, and for Beena's benefit also, because Beena was saying, hey, we need to be really disciplined with our time management, and so this is why, because Erica was already in there, and Sue was already in the times that. So I just put you in where you could fit on those days. You see?
Perfect.
So
Got
they
it.
were already in there at that time. So okay,
Okay.
and that works for you as well, yes?
Yes, it does. That's a beautiful thing. I can do
Yeah.
that.
That's fantastic. That's very magical. Brilliant. I love it. Okay. See you next week.
That works out.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye, Beena. You guys have a great weekend.
Yes. Bye bye.
Thank you. You too, Sher.
I'm going to end meeting and then come right back. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So end meeting,
Yes.
come right back. Okay.
Yes.